Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Tales from the Shattered Lands, coming at you live from Game Room 5 at the Tavern of Tales in Boston. I'm your Dungeon Master, Jake, and these are our lovely players. Playing Glimmer tonight is Nico.
Hello, everyone.
Playing Eidolon is Austin.
Hello, everyone.
White Scales is being played by Jason.
Hi, friends.
Ashrin is being played by Quinn.
Howdy.
And unfortunately, Lily is out sick today, so I will be playing Sir Gwydion very poorly. As I said, we are Tavern of Tales. We are a board game bar in the Mission Hill neighborhood of Boston, Massachusetts. We are doing this stream to entertain you and entertain ourselves, stick together through this COVID-19 crisis, which is hopefully coming to a close soon. When it does come to a close, we'd love to see you all at Tavern of Tales in Mission Hill. Like I said, we're an immersive board gaming bar, the best place to hang out in miles, and plus we're going to have this awesome patio out front that you can enjoy your nice summer drinks away from the cooped up cabin that you've been in for the last 3 months. If you're looking for something else to do with your time while lockdown is still in effect, we are offering a free online Dungeons & Dragons campaign set in the world of Eberron. Play with me and these lovely folks above me as you become an exquisite aeronaut on the hunt for a lost city and the Tree of Life within. We are currently wrapping up the Season 1 arc of our campaign this Saturday, and we'll be beginning with Tier 2 adventures, that's from levels 5 to 10, in another week or so. So please give us a look. We are running sessions every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m., and signups happen at 5 p.m. the day before. It's always a fun time. We love to do it, and we love to play with you guys. So come and stop by. You can find out more information at tavernoftales.com/DND. That's D as in Dungeons, N as the second letter of and D as in Dragons. We're also 3 subscribers away from 50 followers on this stream. So please continue to follow, spread the word. It helps out a lot. This stream is one of the ways that we have tried to stay together throughout the COVID-19 process, and it's been quite successful for us. And thank you for everyone who's subscribed so far or followed us. And with that out of the way, let's begin. Last time, the party dealt with the aftermath of a nighttime raid by the Red Palm on their campsite and their unexpected aid on the part of the Dagger Lads, a group of very heroic adventurers. They met with the Dagger Lads' eccentric leader, a paladin of Heliodor named Varathor Grom, and he gave them some pointers on group dynamics, leadership, and the opportunity to make some money in Tarek. Glimmer took a shine to the bright young tiefling bard of the group named Ulala, and the two sang the urchin song gently into the night and agreed to meet up again one day in the city of Westward to show each other around, platonically. The group continued south to Tarek City, and on the way encountered some more Red Palm soldiers being pursued by 2 massive giants. Just when it looked like the group had put themselves in the crosshairs of the giants, Glimmer used a thoughtful series of spells to soothe the creatures to their presence, and they passed by harmlessly, leaving the giants to finish off the Red Palm with massive boulder throws. At last, they had made their way to Tarek City, the college town of the Free Cities of Dunmarch. There they broke off to explore. Some went into the city to speak to Victor Detch, a historian who might know of some artifacts and who might also pay to have a close look at Eidolon, while White Scales remained outside to secure the group's lodging for the night. In Detch's office in the archives, the groups found illustrations on the wall of Garrett Carkeeper, of all people, the necromancer that they had slain and claimed the head of, and he Detch, that is, was indeed impressed with Eidolon's construction and offered a cash sum of 150 golden wheels, which are the currency of the Free Cities, for the pleasure of examining him at length the next day. The party said they needed time to think about this and headed out. Meanwhile, Whitescales entered into an inn called the Magnolia and found it full of Rainmere soldiers, apparently bound for St. Gertrude. The Furbolg bartender, Zenko, pointed out the regiment's commander, and Whitescales began to approach. Outside, motivated by annoyance and the existential threats he posed to the party's souls, Ashrin went down a back alleyway, and after a not very successful negotiation with the imp, destroyed him with 2 castings of magic missile, sending him to the 9 hells for a week at least. It is the second Bull's Day Pike Tide, year 996 of the Great Silence. We join Whitescales as he approaches the table of the commander of the Rainmere soldiers. The soldiers are chatting merrily in the bar, taking up most of the space and tables, sometimes singing, sometimes telling long, involved stories about their conquests and conflicts. What would you like to do, Whitescales?
So just want to confirm a couple things real quick that we established last time. I have a mug of ale in my hand, and the commander's name was Oriflam.
Oriflam, yep.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to walk over to him and make my presence known as I'm walking, and kind of stop maybe 2 feet away from him. Just kind of stand waiting with the alcohol.
He is currently, well, to describe him, first of all, he is a orcish gentleman in very expensive-looking armor with a maroon tabard with the symbol of Rainmere emblazed on the front. Symbol of Rainmere is a 7-spoked wheel with a hubcap on it of some rippling waves.
Got it.
He is currently sitting at this low circular wooden table. There's 2 chairs pushed in next to him, and he's looking over a map of the peninsula of the Free Cities, which looks like this. And sort of taking notes in like a leather-bound book. Mm-hmm. As you approach, he writes for a little bit longer, and then looks up at you, and without saying anything, just points his pen at the chair across from him.
Oh, thank you. I'll take a seat.
Are you looking to enlist?
Well, actually, I was hoping to discuss with you. I happened to be in St. Gertrude a day or so ago.
Is that right? He sits up a little straighter, leans forward, and you can tell that you've really piqued his interest. He's very invested in what this conversation is about to inform him of.
Would you like a drink? And then I'll push the ale towards him.
I don't drink when I'm on the job, but you're free to drink with the men after you've told me what you know.
Fair enough. Thank you. I just figured that I could inform you of something. I was attacked by the Red Palm on the way back here with my traveling party.
On the road north of here?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What day was this?
It was overnight.
It was Moore's Day. Yesterday was Moore's Day.
Yes, Moore's Day then.
No, sorry, it was Tears Day. Duh, Jake, know the calendar date. He writes this down. How many in the force?
There must have been at least 15 of them.
Anything peculiar? Any particular leader?
They mentioned something about a man named Asher. I'm not sure who that is, but there was a suspicious man in St. Gertrude while we were there.
We know about Asher as the apparent leader of the Red Palm.
Is that the large man with the horns?
It appears so. We don't know a lot about him except for his declarations and his penning of this, and he pulls out one of the manifestos of the Red Palm and kind of sets it on the table. Having encountered them, I assume you've run into one of these before.
Yes, several actually.
He's the author, as it were. We don't have a lot of leads to his relative identity or affiliation other than his disruptive attack on our great cities.
Has he attacked more than just St. Gertrude now?
Just the countryside between them all. The merchants got scared. They don't want to be on the roads anymore. They're not exactly subtle, these Red Palm, but there are many of them. And as it stands, independently, the cities don't have the fighting capability to wage a conventional war against them. So it seems we are under siege.
Yes. How's the situation in Rainmere?
Situation in Rainmere is tense. We believe there might be some involvement with the criminal underworld there and the Red Palm.
Please expand on that if you wouldn't mind. I'm originally from Rainmere.
Are you a criminal?
Not what I would call it, no. Though I have had a decent amount of run-ins with some shadier groups from the area.
Then you know about some of the city's open secrets.
Yes.
We're worried about the factions there. The ruling class have let them fester in the city for a long time, and with the Red Palm mucking around, we might begin to see some of the consequences of that. Are you heading there?
We are, yes. I'm trying to get these off, and I'll fiddle with the collar.
I see.
For the moment, we are singing crows, it seems. Is there anything else that I can help you with? Any information that you need?
I would just like to take a description of your accounting of events regarding the attack on St. Gertrude, if you don't mind.
Absolutely.
Where it came from, how they managed to get their forces inside the city.
Yes. They appeared out of nowhere, it does seem. The first sign that we saw was of that large man. We were discussing something with the... I don't remember his title, but it was something Reginald Esquis?
Yes, the current regent. Yeah.
Yes. We were discussing something with him when the attack started. After that, it was kind of a blur. We left in a hurry.
I see. Yes, the regent sent for us and said that some people who had witnessed the attack might be coming this way. I'm glad that we managed to meet up.
Yes, I agree. Are you heading in that direction?
I'm heading north to St. Gertrude with these men. Yes, we'll be there in 2 days' time.
Yes, that seems about right. On the way here as well, word of warning, I did see some Red Palm being chased by hill giants.
Red Palm and hill giants.
Yes, it was a strange encounter. We tried to get out of there as quickly as possible.
Did you see any reason why they would be interacting? I think they just got close to a village.
It is entirely possible that they got too close. The Red Palm were running from them. I believe they are gone now. We didn't stay very long.
Well, at least they're not allies, right?
Yes. Yes, quite so. Well, I appreciate your time and the information. If you have need of me for anything, I'm staying here tonight. So my allies are
Entering into the door right now.
There they are.
We have like a
every
little
cop.
bit of
Let's get
entrance,
wasted.
little bit of
Oh,
entrance
Rayskill's here.
music. And I'm telling Ashwin, I said I fucking hate the military, right? Somebody asked me why I hate the U.S. military.
I hate those guards, you know, I'm sick of them. I would like to quickly also just prestidigitation any bird poop or stray feathers, any viscera that might be on my hat. I'd love to get that out of here.
Hey,
Need that.
you got some catch dust on your cheek.
Yeah, I
God.
got prestidigitation. It's out of here now.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Successful outing.
Where did we just come back from?
We went to college.
Yeah, more or less successful. You know, if we decide to stay another day, which I'm not quite sure, we could get 150 gold for almost nothing.
We'll discuss it.
Interesting.
These are your allies?
Yes, allow me to make introductions. Singing Crows. This is Orflam. These are my allies, the Singing Crows.
Hello, sir.
He here is one of the captain. What is your rank?
Captain.
Captain of the Rainmere Guard. He's heading towards St. Gertrude. I figured I could give him some details of the attack on the city.
Have you?
Yes, although I'm sure that he would appreciate any information that you could give.
That
I don't think.
situation was
We all-
very fast.
Yes. We all saw the same thing, so.
Yes, we were together most of the time. It just the red palm gathered out of nowhere and announced all these threats, and before we knew it, the whole city was just collapsing around us. I hope that was enough details.
I would ask Captain that if you are there, the steward who we were speaking with when the attack happened, I did not see him anytime after we left, and the tower he was in collapsed. So if you can find any way to find him, alive or dead, I'd like to know his fate.
That does bring up a question. When did he send for the guard?
The
I'm
night
sure
of the
it's
attack,
heads.
we received a carrier pigeon message from Regent Reginald Esquis.
But that bodes well for him.
I think it does. He seems to have the situation well under control, but
It didn't seem that way to us.
Well,
St.
we
Gertrude
left
is not
very
the
early.
strongest city in the Confederation.
Jake, if I may, I'd like to conjure up the dagger behind my back out of view from everyone and feel how hot it is.
It's pretty cold. If it's still pinging to Reginald, which you haven't changed it at all,
No.
it would be miles and miles away back in St. Gertrude.
Okay, so it's still active, so I would definitely just check to see and then cast it off again.
I forgot for a second that only detects Reginald in my brain. I was like, oh, it's going to tell us whenever we meet a bad guy. And I was like, no, I forgot.
Dagger of
Dagger of detect that guy, yes.
Yeah.
Dagger of spider sense.
Yeah, exactly. Dagger of moral alignment test. Captain, is there any other sort of testimony we can help you with, or a couple things we'd like to discuss with our friend White Scales here? Not to interrupt you boys on your thing.
No, I think I've got as much as can be expected from your testimony. Do you need to know anything about the ongoing effort against the Palm, or are you just looking to get your money and get out of this struggle?
Do you have an estimate? Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just gonna be a bastard. It's okay.
Do you have an estimate of their strength? We're planning to leave from here to Rainmere soon, hopefully. We were accosted on the road from St. Gertrude to here. Should we expect the same thing? How are they? I mean, other than although they were leaving St. Gertrude when we left, but do they control any parts of the free cities other than the countryside?
In general, they are spread out, but quite numbered. We can't pin down a base of operations of any sort, so we assume some larger hidden structure or fortress somewhere in the wilderness that we have not found yet. It is still early, but we can tell their forces accumulate much stronger in the east. That is where their supply chain is strongest from our initial assessments. So the further west you go, the safer you are.
And their forces are made up mainly of what? Of veterans of the war?
Veterans of the war, disenfranchised mercenaries like yourselves, deserters from various indentured mercenary groups.
You haven't had any
Probably
problems with your own forces ever being kind of swayed by this literature and joining the Red Palm, have you? Just curious.
I demand nothing but loyalty from my men, and I've done thorough investigations into their loyalties, and I trust them with my life. I can't say that about everyone's men, unfortunately.
Well, that's good to hear, at least. It's just, young men, they're very persuaded by certain types of literature, so no harm in asking.
No harm.
Thank you.
Whatever phrase you just said, Ashrin, even though he is not here, has further convinced Sir Gwydion that this book is smut. I just want you to know that. I think I feel safe speaking for him here. Their book was so sexy that I decided to arm myself and join their forces.
Same difference. I mean, how much can this guy know? No one knows anything.
Well, if you are interested in helping with the struggle, I'm sure that there are some fine bounties to be had if money is the thing that motivates you. By the time you get to Rainmere, I would check in with the local bounty offices and see what money can be had, if that's what you want to do.
That sounds like a plan. Well, the information has been appreciated. Thank you very much.
Gives you a little salute and goes back to his map marking and journal writing. The soldiers on the other side are taking up most of the bar space and singing jaunty songs about killing people and whatever soldiers do.
Epic, dude.
Yeah. A lot of raw, violent energy in the bar tonight.
We're vibing.
Said that you wanted to speak with me.
Oh, I just thought we should, catch up, get on the same page with, travel arrangements for tomorrow. We've kind of, Eidolon has been invited. Perhaps you would like to talk about, but then invited by this Dutch character to be interviewed so he could learn some historical facts. And so I'm of the opinion that we should get to Rainmere as fast as possible. Eidolon thinks that I don't want to speak for you, Eidolon, if you'd like to present your case, but weighing the numbers, the risk of staying an extra day, I'm not a fan.
If I may, it might be easier to have this conversation sitting down. Would anyone like a drink? I'm willing to pay for the rest of us.
I'll have one.
I sure wouldn't mind one either.
Excellent. Eidolon, are you able to?
I don't feel the need to eat or drink, so...
can you experience it, though? You don't get drunk, I assume, but can you experience taste?
I could experience essence and describe it in a form factor of descriptor words, yes?
I'll tell you what, I'll buy you one anyways.
Yeah, perhaps
if he doesn't like it, I'll take it.
If you held it and everyone didn't assume that you were a construct at a bar, you could just be like one of the guys holding a beer. No one would question it.
Blending in is a good option. Yes, that does sound good.
Oh, hey, White Scales, are these your friends?
Yes, actually. My friends. This is the bartender, Zinko. He is a Firbolg. From out west, was it? Was that?
Yep, out west.
Yes.
Yep.
Wonderful man. Can I order a round for the rest of them? Thank you.
Do they all want ale?
Ale?
Cider for me, please.
Okay, a cider.
Magners? Do you have any Magners? You know what? I'll just take ale. That's fine.
Well,
Thank you, Cinco.
We've got a selection. You can
Do you have the winter blend?
unfiltered, yes.
Oh, that sounds lovely. I'll take one of those. You can't get these all year. They're excellent.
No, only in the winter. It is
That's what
early
season
summer.
it is, right, Jake?
Shattered Lands currently.
Do you have the summer blend?
It's broken immersion. It should be the Aloha Friday.
Oh.
Okay. What about you, armored individual?
Oh, I will take your most nondescript, most common drink beverage. That
One human beer, please.
Well, we got a thing. It's called a White Claw. It's
Oh God! No! You can't. We can't make it canon.
That sounds familiar. I think I'll try that. I've heard
Okay,
that discussed, you know.
I'll be right back. He leaves and returns with a platter full of delicious. It's like a college bar, so it's college bar prices, and it's pretty okay stuff.
Nice.
Okay,
Eidolon,
if you need anything.
I've
All
heard
right.
of this actually. This whole
you,
like
Cinco.
this whole like alcoholic seltzer thing. It's a trend. Like I don't know how long it'll last, but I've heard of things like this.
Trends do not last normally very long, so we'll see.
Additionally,
Now the lore foco, you want to stay away from that stuff, okay? I don't know if it would kill you, but it has killed people before.
The lore of Foco?
Lore foco is what it's called.
Lore of Foco.
What a dastardly tale that sounds like. You should tell us about this limit.
I've also
Alright,
heard of the cider very mad place where you grow trees.
They don't spoil the tier 3 dungeons.
I'd like to specifically address Angry Orchard's lawyers right now. Hello, welcome to the stream. To us.
I've also taken the liberty of acquiring our rooms. Eidolon, since you don't sleep, I figured it would be easier if you just stayed in the room with one of us.
Fair enough.
Shall we go?
Oh, so you were able to get 5 rooms in a busy tavern like this?
4 rooms, but yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I'm gonna I'll wait. Never mind.
perhaps, have we decided what we're going to do tomorrow? Perhaps we should decide that before we retire.
Yes, I would agree with that.
So let's take a seat. Can we get a booth?
Yeah, you can get a booth, but like it's only a half booth. The other ones are chairs.
Damn. Ashrin will take a seat in the booth side. No mercy, no
Ashrin is a
hesitation.
booth person.
Yeah, you know. So I've said my case. I would like to know what everyone else thinks. Should we leave first thing tomorrow? I think that might be wise.
Well, we have Eidolon has his interview. I thought.
Well, we're discussing if the interview is worth it.
150 gold can buy quite a few health potions.
Yes, and we need those.
Okay.
I
I'm
would
not 100% opposed.
I would make the argument that we are leaving the most dangerous zone right now. We survived thus far. It's about, 2 days to Rainmere? I think we could survive it.
Yes,
Well, I would like to have some sort of security, no matter where we are. It's a dangerous time. So
Yes, that brings it up. I would prefer not to hire a specific group of mercenaries because they will question our bounty, and questions lead to questions, and I think the less information people know, the better. So perhaps we do this interview, we get our health potions, maybe some armor, some buffs, we'll think about it. Is that a compromise we can settle on?
What
So
time was
shop-
the interview?
And
I don't know, morning?
We can make it as early as we want, I would assume, as soon as the gates open to the enclosed city.
Glimmer, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
so what? I was just saying, I was just going over what our plan is. Interview and shopping. Interview then shopping because we need the gold from the interview. Yes?
Then we hit the road?
Perhaps we should leave in the morning, so to like make the most progress. The accent's failing. Sorry, Kings.
Late morning maybe?
Well, I don't. They could be going on all day. You know these academic types asking Eidolon about like dwarven shoes and bricks and things. I don't think we can count on that.
Well, if
Presuming
it's too late, then we'll take another day in the city. We're not in a rush, I don't think. We
I
have
am.
enough. You are.
I would rather like
The
to
gold
get to
is
Rain
waiting
as soon
there.
as possible.
What we stumbled onto was so rare and so lucky, and so many things could go wrong between us and delivering this bounty, that I would like to eliminate the least. I would like to make the lowest possible chance of these things going wrong by finishing as fast as possible.
Okay,
But-
I understand that.
I
Ash.
agree.
Mhm.
No, I agree. This health potion's good idea.
I just want to ask Ashrin, what exactly are you afraid of? I think our prowess in martial combat and protection is well versed enough, so I'm not too worried about what's on the road. We were just merely outnumbered last time, and we did not have any health potions on us either, so we were in a small pickle, but I believe that.
Well,
We have our
didn't have any
disguises now
health-
too.
We didn't have any health potions, but we had a Verithor Grom, and then we had a very lucky scenario with well, Glimmer, you deserve credit for that one afterwards. I'll give you credit for that.
Thank you.
But what
A
happens
charismatic
if we come
man.
across? He is. You don't own up to that enough, Glimmer. You know, I'm gonna take some more sips.
What? Wait, what are you saying?
You're very charismatic, and you don't act like it. You're always very like. I don't take this personally. A little bit shy, maybe, perhaps. But you're very charismatic. Don't discount yourself. You know.
Well,
God, I
don't
need
know.
a can really bad.
I've only known you. We've been together for what, like a week and a half?
A week plus.
Yeah, you about 2 weeks now. You've known each other.
Yeah.
Great.
So I'll say, well, I've only known you two weeks. I guess I'm careful. Yes. Thank you. I don't know, but I'm just gonna like cut off my sentence by sipping my drink.
See, that was a great example. You carried yourself very well for the conversation, and then you became insecure. You cut yourself off. You need to believe in yourself more, Glimmer. That's what I believe. But where were we?
Traveling.
I don't know where I was going.
we were making a plan, not giving me a pep talk. I don't know if I need one. So you want to leave as fast as possible, so that nothing happens to the gold that's waiting for us in Rainmare. I don't know what happened to it, but
Well, I mean, what if the Red Palms, like, invaded here tomorrow, and we were still here? Do you know what I'm saying? This is
then
a very.
Then we'd
do you
leave.
guess
We'd
where
leave.
I'm at? Do you get where I'm at? That the sooner we
Sure,
get this
yes,
over with,
but
yes.
I think a single day. Well, things are changing quickly, but I am comfortable with a single day.
I can compromise with that. That's fine.
What if we did the interview, got the potions, left that night, slept only one night out in disguises, and then hightailed it to Rainmere as fast as possible?
How far is it to? How long is it to Rainmare?
About 2 days through a swamp.
We could
Through a
also
swamp.
do-
That's
Through a
news.
swamp, that's a little bit.
Look at the map. I colored it blue to indicate swampiness.
Make you know after
There's-
you can't read.
There's a swampy texture.
Oh, I see.
It's all
Would-
sloshy.
Would we be able to hitch a ride on a caravan?
If you can find one. So Tanatus it's not Tanatus. His name's Oriflam. Oriflam said that the merchants were getting spooked, so you might be able to be like, we're merchant guards, but also being in a caravan would put a target on your back.
True.
A little.
And our disguises wouldn't be so good.
The disguises, you're right. Well, I do think it might be a good idea to travel in numbers, but the disguises didn't seem to interest. Well, I guess we took them off, so never mind. I don't know. Take another sip. So no,
If I may.
all of the options seem fraught with danger. Yes, toy scales.
I have a bit of time-sensitive business in Rainmere. A single day won't put us back any further, but I would rather not take too many detours.
Time-sensitive business.
I am looking for someone. Oriflam told me that there's a bit of change happening in the city. I would like to go see that with my own eyes.
So we give Eidolon's interview as long as it needs to go, so that we can get the money. We spend the money on supplies, and we leave either that night if we feel comfortable, or the next morning. Is that our plan?
Yes, I think that sounds good.
Sure.
Okay. What was this Detch like?
A bit of a nerd. Just kind of a history guy. I don't know. I don't know if you've read any. It seems like his father was very famous. What was his book called? I didn't write it down. Anyway, some sort of religious philosopher. Victor Detch. Anyone read him?
Well, no, not that I can recall. I found it more interesting that he was interested in what we possess.
Yes. Oh, I almost forgot about that. Seemed like he was interested in talking to Ketch.
Oh, where is he? Didn't he go out with you?
Well, he's currently somewhere as a bird, I'm assuming, doing his business on people.
There was an incident. We don't need to discuss it, but I tried to speak to him one-on-one, and he ended up being a sex pest again. And he took his ass right in my face, and so I lost my temper a little bit. I told him to fuck off. I commanded him. So he should be back sometime. Apologies.
I
understand. Catches that little scam.
He can press your nerves, yes.
Did he fly away?
Give it that.
Yes.
Do
you want to make
I mean, just because you did that face, and I wouldn't mind doing an insight check to see what Eidolon knows.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sure. That would be insight.
I'm just gonna roll a contesting check.
All right, so I'm gonna roll insight.
Ooh.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I
She's
can't
the queen is the thing. She's the queen is the thing. That's the thing. So, Catch. So, yes, I do apologize, but I had some concerns with this professor questioning Catch, and I fear that we may reveal more to him than would be ideal right now. So I think we may have to tell him a reason why Catch isn't there.
Well, we can tell him that reason, right?
Yeah, that's fine. But we would have to explain why we had a demon that we could control and knew his true name.
It's
the other thing.
I never specified that we said we know his true name. I just said we had an imp. It's not that uncommon to summon demons and devils and all that.
Exactly, so we would need a better excuse than I told him to fuck off, because that implies we know his true name. We could just say he got rowdy and we killed him or something crazy like that.
We could also just say...
Who would do that? Not me.
We could also say that he wasn't being cooperative. I mean, unless we know his true name, he has no obligation to listen to us. Well, of course we do know his true name, so he kind of does. So
yes, I think that's the best way to handle that. But yeah, sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
It would probably be a good idea to go find him before we leave the city.
Mm.
He certainly knows how to find us, so I'm not
Jake.
worried about it.
Yes.
Would I know that if holding the medallion and saying his true name, it should summon him? Is that how the medallion works? If
If he's in hell, that'll summon him. It doesn't do anything to like communicate with him otherwise. So you'd have to like use the message spell or look for him if
It'll
he's
only
yeah.
it'll only summon him if he's alive in hell.
Yes.
Not if he's like goop. He's like I'm picturing him as like goop. He's like goop in hell right now.
yeah.
He is currently goop in hell.
That's our group name. Goop in hell.
Goop in hell.
But no.
And it doesn't summon him like instantly if he's on material plane. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Pigeon corpse rises again.
Yes.
Oh.
Mm.
No inside jokes on the stream.
Get out of here.
Friendly stream.
Yeah, because all of our viewers love to know Down East Cider. I mean, they do though, so that's the
It's a
thing.
product on the market.
They should partnership with us. I mean, I kind of have already. Well, seems like we've settled that. I mean, I certainly am going to finish my drink in this rowdy ambiance. Listen to those lads over there. Seems like one of them singing about, what is that, killing a giant? Oh, that's actually not that exciting.
We almost did that today.
We almost got killed by a giant today.
That too.
That was today.
That was today. It's been a long one, huh?
I think we could have taken them, says Sir Gwydion.
Sir Gwydion, you sound so much more like a nerd.
I'm sorry.
Well, that's what you get for
I'm sorry. I always get a little bit congested when I'm around universities.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
reading. It's contagious. Did you want to drink, Sir Gwydion? I forgot. How old does Sir Gwydion look? Do we know? I feel like we talked about it in the first episode and I don't remember.
I think he looks like
Can he
he's in
drink?
his like 20s. Yeah, he's drinking
Okay.
and he has been drinking. In fact, he is drinking to the point where he's almost passed out, and you think that he might get such a hangover tomorrow that he just doesn't want to talk very much.
Oh
Ooh.
man.
Oh.
Why don't you
God.
slow down there? I know that you've been a little quiet today, but you're all right. Look at this guy.
The rooms are right upstairs. Feel free to turn in whenever you need to.
What time is
White
it? Like
skills?
8 p.m.? 7 p.m., right? It's like early.
Yeah, it's like 7 p.m. right now.
White Skills, is it okay if I room with you? You are strong and could protect me.
Yes, I would be happy
It's
to.
just for protection, I promise.
Yes.
I
no,
know I keep saying things, but I just admire your strength and your axe wielding ability.
I admire your general beauty as well. Thank you.
Okay, you're not supposed to do that. Okay, never mind. Thank you. I'm not very beautiful, but okay.
I want to lean over to Eidolon. Was that the right thing to say?
Why are you asking the robot?
Eidolon looks towards you and goes, "You can never say anything quite right."
Oh man.
Fair enough. And I'll just take a big old.
Yeah, me too.
Eidolon is gonna hold it up and go like, open his hatch and then just pour it in there.
Mm-hmm.
What is it like? Describe it to me, Eidolon.
What's that
It's kind
curious
of
new
like dripping
concoction
out
thing?
onto the chair that he's sitting on.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eidolon,
I mean,
you're
it's-
like wetting yourself.
It's like seltzer, though, right?
Which flavor is it? That depends. Which flavor?
Gotta be hard cherry.
It's like malt liquor flavor. It's like
Okay.
Oh my god.
I will describe
this-
40 ounces?
I will describe this to the best of human ability. It tastes like the fresh spring dew of morning before first sunrise.
Okay, that's a
As-
fucking lie, though.
As a
Doesn't
You
taste like
haven't
that. I
had
can,
it,
woman-
have
I
you,
can.
though?
Okay, I can
Often the
smell it though.
field
It doesn't smell like
carries-
that.
pitcher of milk.
Okay, you're just like saying things.
Yes.
I will say that's very colorful for you, Eidolon, but you've kind of sold me. That might be my next one.
Don't trust me. It's
Do you smell? It's leaking out of his armor,
I'm
Ashford.
not
Do you smell it?
smelling him. That would be rude.
It's
Don't
leaking
you
out.
smell
You don't have to get
It
close
just
to
smells
smell
like a
it.
bar in here.
Ashford, it may be worth tasting his first.
I don't want to lick you, Eidolon. I'm sorry.
Uh,
White Scales, have you had this before? This concoction? Were you named after it, or
No.
was it named after you? Makes you think.
I'm going to be honest with you. This is the first time I've ever seen one in person.
So how do you know that it tastes bad?
Wait.
You said it was bad.
I can
Exactly.
smell it from here.
You know what? Okay.
Yes, the scent. It's rather overpowering.
Well,
White
everyone has
Scales?
their own tastes.
White Skills, I've heard you mention before that White Skills is not your name. It's just what, like a given name? Is it just,
I suppose
I don't want to
it's
pry, but
more like a title than a name.
did you give it to yourself? Did you just look at your arm and you were like, okay?
No, it was given to me. I don't remember how old I was. I must have been a child.
Do you have do you have a name, a given name?
No, I never had the luxury.
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have to talk about that.
No, it's okay. Thicker skin, that's all. For now, White Scales is fine.
White Scales, you said that when you were a child. How old are you?
Well, if I'm being honest, the years were never kept track of. I must be somewhere in my early to mid 20s, at least.
Then are you not still a child?
No,
by our standards, at least.
Yeah, would you call me a child, Eidolon? I think, roughly as old as him.
Yes.
Well, okay, well that's because you're hundreds of years old. So do you?
You
understand, like they.
Well, I believe you're
100
thinking in dwarven terms, correct? Kind of, that's warped your perspective a bit.
Well, dwarven terms, I believe that everyone lives to be well over 350 years old, to maximum.
Jake, that's incorrect, right? Okay, I don't know if there was lore I was forgetting. No. Is the answer to that one, Eidolon? No.
How have you not learned this?
Yes, you've
Dwarves are
interacted.
special in that way.
I never really stay with people long enough to see them die of natural causes. I've only met a handful of people, but they were extremely old, yes. My creator died at the age of 239.
Yes, but that's pretty good for a dwarf, but not unheard of. For most humans, it's like 80 to 100. I don't know about White Scales, and I also don't know about Glimmer. I'm assuming it's kind of the same,
It's the
but
same, I think.
300 is like a big one. Yes. So when do you consider people to not be children?
Those over the age of 50, when they reach young adulthood.
Okay, this explains a lot, actually.
Yes.
I guess maybe you must see us as children in more ways than one, but we are adults. This is very strange to explain.
Ish. And I want to point at Sir Gwydion, who's
He's like drooling.
Is like,
He's got the pass.
And
Yes.
I must say that this is kind of strange because you all have certain qualities that have reminded me of children, and especially Sir Gwydion.
Gwydion currently has a table mint balanced on his forehead, and he's trying to get it into his mouth.
And Eidolon looks over just for a quick reference. You see where I'm coming from, correct?
I do.
Cinco, can we get some water? Sorry, can we get some water?
1 round of water coming right up.
Thank you so much, sir.
Who's
Sorry.
gonna order the Uber now?
It's upstairs.
Well, yes. I mean, we're still young. Some of us are more childlike than others, but no, we have more experience and worldliness than a child would. Not as much as you, I don't think.
You are well over a quarter into your existence. Don't you worry that you?
I'm not well over a quarter yet. No. I'm almost a quarter.
Almost a quarter. Well, you're approaching it fast. Aren't you worried about what most mortals worry about?
What? Like death, poverty, oblivion, plague.
Being remembered as doing something great?
Yeah, I worry about those things, but that doesn't have anything to do with my age, I don't think. Maybe it does. I don't know.
Strange.
You
So
have
is
a
that
lot to
what
learn
you
from us, I
worry
think,
about?
Eidolon.
I think we all have a lot to learn from each other.
Yes. I want to learn how to get that mint into my mouth. Like that.
Yes, you'll have to teach us someday, Sir Gwydion, when you're a little bit more with us.
Blah, 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 blah.
Just like Sir Gwydion.
You know, Eidolon, I
Dead
think
ringer,
I
did Lily
understand
just
what
join
you
the call?
I'm sorry, White Scales. What was that?
mean. I think I understand what you mean now. I do have to admit that my own childlike naivete can be overwhelming at times.
I've never seen a child chop somebody's head off, so I don't see you as that.
Glimmer, you
You have
haven't
things
lived
to
long
learn,
enough.
but have you seen a child chop a head off?
I lived through the war. I've seen many a things.
Yes, but when you say,
I am.
Eidolon, very quickly, when you say child, was it like a child with the new knowledge that you have, or was it like an adult that you thought was a child?
They seem to be pretty young. I think their existence was only about...
Just checking, because you've made certain assumptions in this conversation that need to be examined.
How old were they?
How small were they? You know, it doesn't matter. It
Yeah,
sounds grim.
some people are small
That sounds
all their
grim.
life.
Eidolon, you've probably seen all manner of people fighting.
Probably, you know.
Especially during the Empire Wars, it was mass chaos.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God.
all a terrible, terrible burned image in my head. Yeah.
Eidolon, do you have a desire? What you want to do great things? That is your thing. But do you want to? What counts as that for you? Do you want to learn things about the world, about us? Do you want to learn things like if you are 22 years old, you are not a child? Is that
Yeah.
does that fulfill you?
What fulfills me is to carry out the final command of my creator. And I fear that it is until my existence ends that I will not know the answer, nor will I ever know the answer.
I wouldn't count on that. I mean, it was a 3-word command. It's a lot of room for interpretation
You
that you are
see
free to do.
You see, the problem is that I don't do well with interpretation.
Could we help you?
I'm not quite sure how you could help me interpret. But if you see me do a great thing, then perhaps you could let me know I'm on the right path for now.
Well, I'll just say this. I mean, we may be on the trail of something big here. I mean, I'm beginning to suspect that there was a conspiracy that Reginald was leading or participating in to give the Duke the plague. That there's only one piece of a larger thing. We
Yes,
uncovered
we've not-
that. Would that be a great
we've
thing? Would you
not-
consider that a great thing?
I am quite confused about this whole situation. This
Me too.
Duke invites us up. He is part of the target of the dagger. Not to mention the what was the Duke, the Earl, who fell out of the tower? It was the Duke.
I
Duke
think
catches the disease after careful inspection by every guard, randomly in his own castle of all places, and then when the Red Palm forces invade, he disappears.
Well, I mean, we've only discussed it a little bit, but we all agree it's very suspicious that the Duke contracted the Madness Plague and launched Reginald from a position of steward to regent. So we all
I
agree
think
that's
that
very
the capsule
suspicious.
that we delivered to Reginald, I think, had a sample of the plague in it. I think it was. I would give it to him. I feel in the back of my head that God is nodding to me. I don't worship God, but I feel like I may be right here.
Well, that's curious because
That's
then
a
that
one-
would make us morally responsible. So that's something to think about.
Well,
But,
we never knew what was in it. We had no way to check. I don't know if
That still would make us responsible, though. Not like I'm really concerned about it. But yes, it's also worth considering the letter of Garrick, which implicated Sir Reginald as part of a larger cabal of all animal-themed names that, according to Sir Garrick, are going to be very interested in us now that they know who we are. Something we've also kind of avoided thinking about, a little bit unpleasant. Which kind of begs the question, we're all expecting to pay off our debts with this bounty, aren't we? Like, surely 12, very quiet because we're in a bar, 12,000 is enough to pay off all of our debts.
yes, it is.
So, what's next? Now that we're not crows.
I feel like maybe we should speak of it more after Rainmere. Who knows what will happen between now and then? But
Fair enough, but worth thinking about.
I want to
certainly...
keep surviving, and if I could find out at least what was going on with Reginald, I would sleep sounder at night. That is all I'll say.
That is why I bring it up. I would also like to keep surviving, and I do fear that if we're targeted by a cabal of some kind, that perhaps sticking together would be more sound for all of us involved. So worth thinking about.
Yes.
Even if you have separate business in the city. I don't know. We've worked together the last 2 weeks or so, and it's been good. We've had some failures, mostly successes, I think. So just throwing that out there while we're talking about esoteric things.
For safety, sticking together sounds like a good idea to me. I was going to say something and now I forgot. Dang it.
I want to order a White Claw.
What flavor? We got meat flavor, turkey leg.
No,
And,
what? This is
elderberry.
terrible.
Elderberry sounds kind of nice. I'll take that.
Okay. Brings
Like
up-
someone took a turkey leg and put it in a soda stream.
I didn't want to say it to his face, Eidolon, but that one didn't sound good. Perhaps that's the one that you got that everyone said smelled kind of foul. I thought it was fine.
I don't know. Just my descriptors just remind me of visual senses, and that's what I got.
Would the equivalent of Greek life in this world be Garcidian life?
Yep.
I'll say those Garcidian life students, they love the meat-flavored drinks. I think they're crude.
Those wacky guys. How many college kids are in this bar, or is it mostly soldiers?
It's mostly soldiers. All the
Excellent.
college kids are off in their off-campus housing.
The cops are here.
The fucking cops. Yeah.
Well, as soon as we are done enjoying drinks, we should probably go out and find Catch then. I don't really want an imp running around the city too long.
Well, how do you think he will interpret fuck off, Ashern?
For a while. So I don't know. I don't know how a demon would interpret that, but the intent was for not tonight, maybe tomorrow. So I wouldn't worry about him tonight. I think we can worry about Catch later. That's just my thoughts.
I mean, he causes trouble, but I don't think he will put anyone in mortal danger unless he tries to make a deal for their soul. Nobody knows. I've told him not to, and nobody knows his true name in order to tell him to override that command. So
I instructed him to never reveal himself as an imp on the surface world.
Yes,
and he's a bird, so I think we should go let him do his thing for a little bit.
Well, then we'll have to find him in the morning.
If I'm being honest, I'm more concerned with his health than anyone else around him.
He's a bird. He'll be fine.
What do you think someone is going to do to a crow who has the constitution of an imp?
Well, an imp isn't particularly durable. I don't know. If I'm being honest, we are currently in a town filled with mages. Someone may wish to use him for something.
But if he's a crow, then I don't think they would have a reason to.
Well, I hate to burst your bubble, but true sight does exist.
Okay, do you think that there are people looking out their windows with the true sight on, looking for imps to capture who are disguised as crows?
Absolutely never know what anyone could look at any time with true sight.
Okay, so if we're going to be accounting for this many contingencies, then I don't think we should leave this tavern ever again. Who knows
Sounds good to me.
Happen.
Just say.
I feel that God is nodding to me in the back of my head. It's now called the campaign is now called the Magnolia. we're turning it into Cheers. We're gonna buy the tavern.
Everybody knows.
Yes, Timmy Fraser.
Hey, a Norm.
Would it not also be possible to discern his true nature by his general aura, I suppose? I mean, the three of you are able to do that with the arcane, are you not?
Imps and creatures from the other planes don't give off a detect magic aura, do they? No.
No, but detect evil and good exists.
Yes.
Oh, right.
Perhaps they will think it's an evil crow. Listen, he took care of himself all day. I see no reason why he can't take care of himself tonight and come seek us out when he's done with his eating other birds. So I think that's he perhaps can look after himself a bit more than you think. And if not, he'll be back within the week. So I wouldn't be worried about it personally.
To be honest, I know White Scales, you have some affection for him, which I still don't fully understand, but I would like to be free of him for at least a night. He is taxing on all of us, I think, even those of us who like him.
Not to mention, you all haven't been trained in proper demon and devil safety.
I don't know what that means, but I guess not.
Well, I know not
There's
to
a
trust one
binder.
who wants to eat my soul. Personally.
Yes.
Yes. And we all know not to trust an imp who wants to eat part of your soul, don't we?
Not all of us, but...
Oh, and it has nothing to do with eating your soul. It's just merely signing away your soul for the afterlife.
It's consumption, just by the hires up. It's an affect. But Glimmer, elaborate on that.
Oh, I'm sorry, White Scales, to make this public. I know everybody has noticed, right? He trusts him.
There's been some concern on my part. With Sir Gwydion, you're always around him.
He seems interested in making the deal, and I've tried to convince him several times not to do it. Sorry to out you, White Scales, but it is something which puts us all in danger, so I don't feel that bad.
I appreciate the discretion. It is something that I have considered. If I'm being honest with you, my decision is still on the fence.
But you're aware of the consequences, correct? Like, you listened before and you're aware of the consequences of signing away your soul and what may come after that, correct?
I believe so.
And White Scales, you do realize that you're not just endangering yourself, but every single being you come in contact with, correct?
Well, until I die, at least. Yes.
Which
Well,
is
then
We're hard
after
to
you
kill.
die,
a lot of people.
potentially
You
becoming
could-
involved with devils and demons and ghosts and ghouls.
You could probably kill at least a third of the people in this city. if you are squaring off one by one, but you are hard to kill. You are a big, scaly man.
I suppose I see it going differently. But I suppose I never considered that my free will would be infringed upon while I was alive.
White Scales, you've had your free will taken away before, yes? I've gathered through listening closely that maybe in the past, yes?
That would be apt.
It would be like that again, I think. So, I don't want to bring back bad memories, but if it helps convince you not to do this, then...
Yes, you must be getting something pretty good if you're willing to risk all of those things, including your own free will, in exchange for it, huh?
Yes, and it wouldn't be your body which is shackled, it would be your soul, which is even more dangerous.
Yes,
What makes the power so tempting? Just, you have an axe, and you swing it, and people fall apart into pieces. I can't do that. What more could you need?
The last 2 weeks, my lack of survivability has been made very clear to me.
But because you are with a group of people, you are still surviving today. Perhaps that is a better trade-off than your soul and your free will to work with other people and collaborate.
And part of the survivability thing has been none of us have any ways to close another's wounds with magic or anything. Or we're going to be thin on the ground a little bit with the healing. But once we get our thousands of gold, we can stock up, and then we will be much safer.
If I'm being truly honest with all of you, I had intended to leave shortly after we got these collars off. It wasn't until our discussion tonight that I really started to consider that this may be a longer venture than I had originally intended.
We can all help each other. We can help you find who you need to find. It's always better to be in a group, I think, as long as you trust the other members of the group.
I agree with you.
White Scales.
Yes, that's the... Sorry.
I was just about to say, does the business in Rainmere have to do, and is it connected with your passion for becoming stronger by any means?
That certainly has a large weight of it, yes. I have business there that I must attend to, and I would rather not perish before I finish.
Well, you see, I agree with Glimmer's sentiment, and I understand where you're coming from as well. Can we perhaps compromise to... Well, if you don't want to stay, I'm not going to ask you to work with us, but perhaps you could hold off on any sort of demon deals until you're either away from us and ideally out of a crowded city. But perhaps we can just work within that framework for now, and then we can get through this and get our gold, and you can reevaluate from there.
Yes. I would also raise that from now on, since it's already been made known, any discussion of deals will be out in the open. And it will
that is good. I think I know all of our opinions, but...
If we're going to make it to Rainmere, we're going to have to trust each other an inch at least. So I'm glad that you've come out about that now.
Additionally, if I were to make a deal, can I ensure the safety of those around me to you? All.
No.
That's a big ask. That's a big ask.
If you make this deal, you really cannot ensure the safety of any of us. It's not a guarantee, not with the likes of those beings who walk the earth.
Okay. With that, I understand the situation a little bit more clearly.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make this a whole public discussion, but it just came up. Maybe the drink and the party, but
It's okay.
good to come to this agreement, right?
Yes.
It's good to be out in the open with these things, yes?
I do believe that this is helped. If I'm being honest, having Catch be off somewhere has made this conversation a lot easier.
There you go.
I suppose Astrid made a good
You
call.
missed it now?
Do I miss him?
Do you miss your boyfriend, Catch? Do you miss him?
Less than I believed I would.
There we
Yes,
go.
perhaps,
I think he was a bad influence on all of us.
yes, I do pity him a bit. It's a tough position to be in, being an imp, but I don't think he's an ideal influence, and I do think that, let's just say, we can work with him, I think, but I think he needs to be a little bit more understanding of where we come from and what we can do.
I still feel as if all of you don't quite grasp of the type of creature that Catch is.
Yes, I believe that's kind of where I'm trying to come in. But
Yes.
Eidolon, you're the devil safety expert, demon safety expert. So.
Yes. Yes, I have seen quite the extent of more powerful devils and demons and what they can do. Imps and Quasits are just the beginning. And if you mess with those powers, you're bringing an entire world of pain upon yourself if you let it go too far and if you start making deals with these things. I cannot stress this far enough.
I understand. Well, then I suppose I'll need to lean on you a little bit more.
That's fine. I encourage it.
Yes, we're co-workers. That's what we're for.
Co-workers.
Yes, that's,
Party name, the coworkers.
yeah.
Trust me,
The colleagues.
I didn't expect this either, White Scales. I don't know how I feel about it either, but...
The Slack channel.
The Zoom call. The DM, I forget what we call her. It's the joke failed. It's fine.
Flop.
It's good that we're recording.
Office Space. There's a joke there.
Well, yes, I think that is. Oh, poor Sir Gwydion. It would be nice if he was mentally present with us, but a conversation worth having. That we, at the very least, I would love to be able to work together and trust each other to deliver our bounty, and we can evaluate what goes on there. But yes, I think we've made some good little heart-to-hearts. I feel like I understand you better, Eidolon, a little bit.
I suppose that I have some tweaks that I need to make to my processing.
Yes, you should read a book.
Oh, I've read lots of books.
You should
Which
study
apparently
us,
none
I
about
think.
humans, yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, mortals have never really fascinated me that much.
Oh,
Well, that much is clear.
what fascinates you then?
That's a good question.
I've read lots of books on the arcane. When I had free time with my creator, he had books on books and books of dwarven history, magical artifacts that they have created, their industry, and of course, things that happened before the war, law, order, justice systems are quite interesting as well.
Jake, do I know if it would be possible? Well, two things. Do you know if it would be possible to take a book from the archives for like an extended period of time, or how much books would be at a bookstore at Narns and Boble? Narns
and Bobles, all college textbook schools are a scam.
Yes.
Correct.
There-
Are we
That's
getting
a
political
multiverse.
on this
Yes.
chat?
there's a big markup on those ones, and if you used your old student ID and took a book to a particularly unobservant librarian, you might be able to get away with checking out a book. But it'll take some
Okay.
like
What
intrigue.
is my student ID?
It's like a little. It's got you with a bad haircut on it. It's
like a
little,
card? It's like a
Yeah.
it's like a card. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a
Made of
little
Plastic?
No,
Parchment.
there's no
Okay.
plastic. It's the Middle Ages. Come on, you're ruining the immersion here.
It's made out of plastic.
You're
Yeah.
mixing timelines here.
It's a hard arcane material.
Narns
Yeah,
and
okay,
Boble.
material.
How much would a
Plastic.
book be at a bookstore? Like a not necessarily even an academic bookstore. Like this is a learning town of learning. Maybe there might be an independent bookstore. I love to support independent businesses. mom and
Depending on the
pop
book,
shops.
depending on the length of it, 10 gold pieces.
Oh,
That's
a lot.
That's the area. Yeah.
that's a lot. Okay.
It is. Yeah.
This is before the Gutenberg, so
Yeah. There are
oh,
printing
hmm.
presses, but the world is like post-apocalyptic. So
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
I believe that money shouldn't be too difficult once we get.
Sure. Eidolon, I might be able to get you a book or two while we're here, just for the road. If that would be good for you.
oh,
Sorry, it's very hard for me to figure out what you like because you can't drink and you can't eat and you can't. We'll skip over that one, and you can't.
The three hobbies. Three
Oh.
hobbies, D&D.
also I find that combat and tactics are very interesting as well.
Oh, okay.
Yes, you know.
Maybe we should develop some. So, I thank you all for complimenting the little trick I did earlier today. Maybe we can develop some strategies. All discuss what we're capable of and think of combos and tactics and things that we can do to get out of sticky situations.
Group training would not be a bad idea.
Would not.
I don't know why I'm
Well-
trying to entertain you, Eidolon, but I guess I can't. I don't see. You don't have expressions. I can't tell if you seem very bored to me all the time because you're just like a clink, 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 clink. Sorry,
Yeah.
does it annoy you when I do that? Should I not do that?
As I said before, it's nothing new.
Okay.
Yes, I wonder, Ivan, when was the last time you were, by choice or otherwise, traveled with a specific group of people for an extended period of time? Ever?
Eidolon has a quick flashback of something. Like he just kind of stares off in for a quick minute. It's like it's been well
Green
over
goes.
100 years, I would say.
"Oh, man."
It's been well over 100 years.
That is a long time.
I worked by myself. Bounty hunting is not a team job. You have to be willing to go into the fray alone, quietly.
Can be a team job.
We kind of made it a team job, and so did kind of the whole crows, but our...
Almost on
I hate-
accident, but
say this, but usually the teams that I experienced in the bounty hunting field always turned on each other when money was involved.
I suppose
Well-
there's still
is
the
part of
threat
the
of
thing.
that now.
Yes. I suppose, and yes, you still have that receipt,
I will make the
don't
promise-
you, Eidolon?
I do have that receipt.
Yeah,
And of
just
course-
checking.
And you have my word, Ashrin, that everything will be divided equally so that everyone's debts shall be paid.
I didn't mean to start this conversation.
do we want to have some fun? Play a game. I know a few tavern games.
Well, Ashrin's into her second or into her White Claw at this point, so I'd just be like, well, now's maybe the time, maybe it's not, but something worth considering. You mentioned that that parties turn on each other, and well, you can't help but think of those poor men, Douglas and Thomas, and Well, I've been thinking that Eidolon kind of did do the killing blow on that man, and I've just been maybe something worth acknowledging considering who's carrying the receipt. Just throwing it out there.
The killing blow of the man who is spewing black, oozing chunks of liquid.
Yes, well, I mean...
The man who was already dead with the disease.
Yes, I do suppose, but... it does raise a level of concern, and I know we talked about trust, but there's... it's a lot of trust. So that's all I'm saying.
Well, if you wanted to be...
I'm the only one that's concerned about this.
Well, to be frank, you do have a level of concern and reasoning that is logical. However, keep in mind that they were never truly with us. They were not part of the bondage that we have, and he points to his collar and shakes it. And I'm pretty sure that if I would not want to face the consequences of what would happen if we break that bondage right now.
Well, that's good to hear, then. I guess my concerns answers. I mean, God, damaging property, they would get another lecture about that, I'm sure.
Exactly. I don't really think that I would want to figure out what the non-verbal warning was.
I would just like to momentarily, I would like to point out that it was not only Eidolon that finished him off.
Oh, I'm aware. But it was Eidolon who did the killing blow. And listen, I'm not immune. I believe he was in my line of fire at least once as well, but it's a lot of money. And it would be very easy to fall back into the clutches of the crows again. So that's all I'm concerned about. But yes, I believe that you were rationally enough not to kill all of us in our sleep or run off with the receipt or anything like that, Eidolon. So I'm less worried about it.
Well, okay. If we're all making promises and we're all making promises right now, we've already made one. Let's make another, okay? I'm sure Sir Gwydion will agree to this when he wakes up. But let's all promise not to stab each other in the back for money. That's an easy one to make. We can make the promise over, I don't know, a round. I'll buy another round.
I would actually prefer to make an addendum to that. Let's not stab each other at all for money.
Yes.
Front
the back or
back.
the front or the head. Yes.
No stabbing.
Or anything.
How about
stabbing?
instead, we just don't stab each other?
Or any intentional harm, even.
Emotional?
Well,
part of that.
That's. We should not.
That shouldn't
You're
be
making
a
it
problem
more
for
complicated.
No, I agree. I do think that promises are they're words are wind, but I believe that if we can agree to finish this mission successfully, I think at least I will personally sleep a lot more. Better. At least. So, yes, can we agree to that? Let's do the Yujo friendship thing where I'll put our hands together.
Yeah.
What? I don't know what you mean.
Oh God.
Oh, you're not a weeaboo? Get out of here. You line up all your hands in a circle and then you draw a smiley face on them.
Yep.
We can draw a crow.
I don't want to do that.
And then the ink lasts permanently for some
I'm
reason.
drawing the crow, and I'm taking Sir Gwydion's drunk hand and I'm putting it in there. And I'm drawing the crow, and I go, it's not a spell or anything, I just think it's nice.
Okay. I'll order a round too, that'll seal the deal.
Yes.
Oh wait, I can't. I don't have any money. Hey, Sir Gwydion.
I got it. I have a lot of money that I don't really need, and I'm more than willing to offer a round for. Eidolon almost slipped and called him his children, and then realized that my acquaintances,
Pets.
Yeah.
Cool. I will try to show people like some tavern games. I don't know, like football with quarters. You used to do on the table. When you went to the pizza place after the soccer game. Everybody knows about that, right? And other ones just for fun games.
I'm teaching everyone to play a tabletop role-playing game called Dragons and Dungeons.
Dragons are extinct, so you don't even know about them.
Oh damn! I don't even know about them. Dougals and Dixits.
Goblins and gunches.
No.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh,
It
no.
begins. Well, I'm like, good. I feel better about us, and I'm ready to go to bed. Unless anyone has any more quests or
I
missions.
believe that Sir Gwydion is already asleep.
I'm going to take him upstairs. How about that?
Yes. Can Eidolon carry him? Can you carry him, Ashrin? Okay.
I don't know. I could try. Is he in full armor?
I got this.
He probably still has his armor on. He's pretty heavy. He's chunky. He's got a lot of junk in his trunk.
Well,
Oh my god.
It's established that Gwydion has a butt.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did establish that he's got
We
thick
did.
thighs.
Dummy thick, as it were.
Well, Eidolon, if you carry him up the stairs, I can doff his armor. I'm not sure if you know how to do that, because I don't think you can.
Oh,
Do
no,
that.
that was part of my duties, was to don armor, valet work.
Okay.
A lot of mundane tasks. You wouldn't believe what I know.
Okay,
Shall I
but just
change
make-
our room accommodations?
No, I think we have enough. We did the math.
4 rooms for 4 people, and me
Yes.
standing guard somewhere.
Well, Glimmer had mentioned that he would rather stay with me.
Yes.
And then the rest of us can get to our own rooms. So
Yes, that is fair.
yes.
Correct.
Eidolon, just make sure that, because I don't want you to think I'm talking down to you, but make sure that his head is like not backwards, otherwise he could choke on his own vomit and die. Make sure he's a little bit propped up, but
I have heard of that. Yes, that
yes,
is a
it's a
terrible
grim
thing.
way to go, and I
Actually-
don't want to see that happen to our companion.
What if you got almost
think-
squished by a giant earlier today, and then you end up dying choking on your own vomit? It would be not a knightly way to die.
I've seen it. It's not very knightly.
Yes, the safety position, as my creator called it. He told me to put him in when he had his wild nights. That did happen a couple times.
Woo!
Do you remember much of
Tell
your
us more about
creator?
him sometime. Yeah.
I remember quite a bit. He would speak to me quite often. People really didn't like him. But he spoke to me, told me of his favorite things, his dislikes, as I needed to know these things on the job and what he required of me. So yes, I have a very good memory of him.
Eidolon, I think this is the first time that we have seen this side of you.
Actually asking questions and knowing what I actually do in my functions.
I suppose so. All right, I need to go upstairs. I will bid the rest of you adieu for the night.
All right.
Not me.
Good evening.
The party heads to their various rooms for the night at the top of Magnolia Pub, and this is where we'll take a quick 15-minute break. We'll be back here at 7:45 p.m. to see what other wheelings and dealings this unnamed group gets up to.
The coworkers.
The coworkers.
Gotta work on that.
Yes. So back at 7:45. We'll see you then. And welcome back, everybody. So last we left off of our budding party, they were coming to terms with their differences over some refreshing, non-brand affiliated, unrecognizable, but if they were recognizable, definitely within the realm of fair use alcoholic beverages. We left them as they were just heading up towards their rooms in the Magnolia, and that's where we're going to rejoin them as they do their nightly rituals and prepare for bed and whatever greets them in the next morning.
White scales. Glimmer does not have a nightly routine. He just sort of conks out.
Doesn't
Yeah,
even
He
brush
like
his
washes
teeth.
his. He like washes his face. Yeah, he washes his face and brushes
Yeah.
his teeth, and I guess brushes his hair because he's got long hair.
So you have a ritual, is what you're saying.
Okay, but it's very quick. It's very like just trying to get to bed and then.
No 11-step skincare routines for Glimmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
none of
that
this stuff with the. I'm showing it to the camera and I'm like, here's my skincare. Can anybody get that? Okay.
Here's my drunk gif. That was a drunk elephant joke.
I think that White Scales would like follow along your routine and then do some stretches before bed.
Okay, is there enough room in this room to do stretches?
The rooms that you are in
to do
are
stretches?
kind of low grade, like guest bedrooms. Glimmer and White Scales, you're kind of looking at your bedding situation. It's like a little bit bigger than a twin bed and like a chair. And like that's what's in the room. It's very small. And there's not a whole lot of room to maneuver around, so you're kind of like stepping up onto each other sometimes.
Okay. There are 2 beds in here, though, right?
There's
No.
No?
There's one bed.
It's one bed, and it's of an awkward size, such that you could put 2 people in it if you really wanted to, but you definitely...
Can you put one giant dragon man and a small man into it?
Together, you are like 2 medium-sized men, so it's the same size distribution.
I will say...
I mean, you know that Eidolon's not using his bed.
No.
But you guys made your bed, so now you get to lie in it together.
There's also an empty room across the hall that Glimmer won't sleep in because he's scared. So he says.
You know why I'm doing this!
So he says.
I'll sort of like realize that there's one bed and say, you can take the bed. I'm used to sleeping on the floor.
Well, I am too. Doesn't matter to me.
Okay, I'll take it then.
Okay. That's probably for the best. I don't have anything before we go to sleep. I do have a thing kind of toward an hour or 2 into sleeping. If anyone else wants to do anything while we're here.
I think briefly, Ashrin is like for the first time fairly like, wow, I don't think anyone's gonna kill me in my sleep tonight. Probably because she's a little bit drunk. So she is gonna go to sleep, but she is going to lock the door and barricade it with the chair that's in the room. But,
amazing.
Other than that, yeah, it's fine. It's cool. That's it. I'm out.
Eidolon is carrying up Sir Gwydion, and he is in a state of drunkenness, and so he kind of takes him, opens up the room. It kind of looks like a groom taking his bride to the threshold. And he finds the bed. It's like, this should do. And then just kind of sets him down through, and then puts him in the safety position, arms like this, legs, as he was instructed to many times before. And he just kind of is going to walk away very quietly, shut the door behind them, and then basically start sentry mode outside in the hallway. Mm-hmm. He doesn't know why he was given a room. It's not very logical to him, so he's just going to stand outside on guard. And
every once in a while, like, someone walks up the stairs and walks past you, like...
Yeah, I'm just standing there at full attention with
when did the
a halberd in my
suit of armor?
Yeah, a halberd in my hand, standing guard right in front of the door.
The quiet tension of seeing someone else in like a Marriott hallway at 3 a.m., but it's an animated suit of armor.
It's a completely stationary animated suit of armor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, just going to the ice machine, bro.
I'm so glad that you've put words to the concept of the quiet tension of meeting somebody in a Marriott hallway at 3 a.m.
You know exactly what I'm fucking talking about.
It's a liminal space.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. After if there's nothing else, after like an hour or 2 of sleeping, White Seals would kind of wake up at a start and just kind of.
I will say that White's Glimmer is a light sleeper in the first few hours, so that would wake me up. A noise that loud, especially since you're big.
Yeah.
I'll like open my eyes. I'm not indicating to you that I'm awake yet, though.
Again. And I'll kind of look over and see, like,
You can
stare
see
at
my
Glimmer
eyes.
for a couple seconds.
I'm like facing you. You can see my eyes. I have like no pupils. It's like full white sclera. So like it's very obvious that my eyes are open. I'll just say, "Are you all right?"
Yeah, just bad dreams.
Yeah, I've had that before.
Yeah. God, I can't breathe.
Do you need some fresh air?
That might be nice.
Okay, I know some nicer streets around here. Are we in the inner city or the outer city?
You're in the outer city.
Okay. Is the inner city closed?
Yes.
Okay. I think I'd still know.
There, but as a student, you know that there's ways to get in there after hours.
Okay.
Yes, thank you, Glimmer. Let's go for a walk.
Okay. I think I sleep like probably in my regular clothes, so I don't put anything on.
Normally I have like a cloak over my clothing, but I would leave that in the inn.
Okay. You want your axe with you, or?
I mean, I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
I've seen you do this before too. I'm sure that you. There was once that you woke up with a start at camp.
That wasn't a bad dream. I just thought something was happening.
Yes. If I'm being honest with you, I feel like you're probably the person that I can talk to the most.
That's nice to hear. I mean, Cirquidian is nice to talk to, but a little dim. Ashrin seems like she's always not telling you something. Eidolon is indecipherable, so you're relatively easy to get.
Thank you.
Except for the whole doing a deal with the devil thing. That I don't understand, but we've resolved it.
Yes. Rainmere, the closer we get, I find myself finding it harder to sleep. And generally, whenever I start to think about the fact that we're getting closer to it, my chest starts to feel tighter for some reason.
Sorry,
a banshee rips
the Tarek police are. I'm going to close my window. 1 second.
Let's see how long it takes to go past my window. Can you hear it?
Tell our audience that we live close to each other.
The night in Tarek is very mild, like summer night. It's very comfortable temperature. There's hardly anyone on the streets, and there's like a low mist that kind of covers the entire city streets.
Okay, I'll take us to like a place. Is there a place to like slip through the wall into the inner city or something? Like what you said, there are ways to get in after dark. What ways would that be?
Yeah, there's like a path through like a sewer. It's not quite a sewer, but it's like a water runoff ditch that doesn't get patrolled often.
Okay, I'll go to a place. I'll take us there, and I'll take us to a place with like, I don't know. Is there? I'm not going to say graffiti. That's what I would do in a 2020 city. This is like somewhere with
graffiti
like
in Pompeii, baby. They got graffiti in D&D.
True.
Yeah, they definitely in Tarek.
Is it like artistic and nice, or is it just like I banged here? Because that's what the Pompeii graffiti is like.
That's the Pompeii graffiti.
It's a mix between the two of them. Like it's
okay, sure. That's fine then. Actually, I'll take White Scales to like the graffiti alley.
Yeah, and it's within the inner walls, like next to one of the parks of the walls. It's a largely like unexplored corner of the walled city.
But I was saying something, which was, what is there that would scare you so much? It's the person you're looking for, I assume.
Um, I can't remember a time in my life that I haven't been in bondage. And until recently, I was under the care of my master. And I believe that he is waiting for me there. I have a lot of bad memories in that city. And I finally feel like I have the ability to take a stand and direct my own fate.
That's good. So you want to find him to... I mean, is there a way to negotiate for your freedom, or are you just going to, do the axe type of negotiation?
As far as I understand our situation, I am not technically a slave of his, though I believe he still holds the contract from when I was a child.
So
I
what is...
I would like it to not come to violence, but I fear that there's no way around it with his group.
What is this group?
I believe I mentioned the Gilded Cage to you before.
You did?
They're a criminal organization that I worked for as long as I can remember.
They owned you
They owned me.
from birth?
No. I don't remember as much about that group, but I don't have a memory outside of, you understand.
So, since it mattered, they've owned you.
Yes. My earliest memories of the first owner that I had. And I'll kind of like rub my hand over my chest. Yes. I don't remember much about them, but I've been searching for them for a while.
So wait, owner, and then before that, a different owner. No parents?
Not that I can remember.
So
from what I was told, I was born in captivity.
Were your parents also slaves, or?
From what I understand, I never met them. This meeting with my old master, that's the thing that's driving me for power, for strength. And when this is dealt with, I never expected to come out of it the same, or come out of it at all. Your and the rest of our group's friendship has changed my perception a bit of what allies are. I guess I'm seeing a world outside of what I knew.
Have you not had allies before?
I've had coworkers, if you could call them that.
I mean, that's what Ashwin calls us, but I think that's just, a euphemism.
I have a feeling that she plays her cards very close, or keeps her cards close to her chest.
Yes.
But I think that there's something stronger developing between us.
Possibly.
And I do see the makings of something great. To change the subject momentarily, I have noticed that you're a little on edge in this city.
Yes, I am.
If you
You're
don't
asking why?
I just noticed it. You don't have to discuss it if you don't wish to.
Well, maybe I owe it to you. I'll point to the limp pillar and say, I was a student. Haven't been very good at hiding that. I was, and it didn't work out. And so it just feels strange being here again. knowing that all of that is over, and I'll probably never get it back. And I'm worried that the people I knew will see me here, and I don't know if I'm ready for that meeting yet. So, I mean, much better than being owned and having to meet my former master. Just, regrets? I don't know.
Well, everyone has their own chains to bind them.
Yeah.
This seems like it's yours.
No, it doesn't bind me anymore. It's just difficult to think about, to be around again.
I understand. Do you regret leaving?
I haven't. I didn't have a choice. I don't think so. I don't think there's room for regret. I wish I could have held on to it, but I couldn't. So
Well,
it was the thing is, all of my memories here, or most of them, were good, the best that I've had so far. But all of that is tainted by it ending. So
I understand. No, if it's any consolation, that part of your life may be gone, but we may find something greater yet.
possibly. I don't know. I can't say with confidence. Not all of it is gone. I have, what I learned, which has been useful. That's what I've used to keep myself fed since. So
Your magic. Were you born with that talent?
for as long as I can remember, I've had a knack for it.
And pardon my ignorance, but you and Lady Ashrin have a very different type of magic, correct? It seems to
It's all from the same source. I think it's a bit like language. We learn a different script. We've learned, we understand it in a different way, but it's all the same, I think. I think her focus is different than mine. I asked her where she picked it up, and she was vague, so I don't actually really know.
That sounds correct. Maybe she'll get less vague.
I hope
with
so.
time.
I want to know, what everybody's capable of.
That would be nice.
You were easy to figure out. No offense.
No, I'm very, very simple.
Where did you pick that up, though?
The swinging and killing?
Yes, if it's not too difficult to speak of.
No. From my earlier years, I remember being drilled to fight. A dragonborn on the market is not as common, and due to my size, it was made very clear that I would be a valuable asset later.
For what? For the war? For
combat of a sort. The Gilded Cage runs fighting pits. It's kind of like gladiatorial arenas, but smaller.
Yeah. Yes, I'm familiar.
Yes. I was enrolled in those for a while. I was never really formally trained, but I've picked things up over time.
I think you had a good foundation, and I'll knock on your advice.
Yes, that certainly helps. I'm sure you've noticed that there's some primal instinct in me that allows me to increase my strength.
Yes.
I lose a little bit of myself every time, but eventually I snap back into it.
Well, can you still distinguish who a friend is when you're like that?
Yes, for the most part. It's just is this
Then you're still yourself. You're just different.
So. I have a general distaste for violence.
That's surprising to hear. Well, a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've watched you chop heads off.
Yes.
In the back of your head, you are regretting doing that when you do it. Is that what you're saying?
Part of it. Not entirely, not everybody, but I would rather violence not be the first course of action.
I am generally the same way, but more so that I am at less risk. You don't seem to. What is all of that about, anyways? Why do you not care about what happens to you after? I assume after you confront your master.
I suppose I've only ever lived for his sake. I've never held a life of my own. And giving up something that you don't have is much easier when you don't have it.
Yeah, I can understand that. So we can help you. I mean, I don't know how in control you felt recently with the collars and everything, but we can help you get there, I think. I mean, what is this man's name?
Raylan.
And
Raylan.
you would not, you would be happy to see him dead, yes?
That's a complex question.
Did he raise you?
Can't forgive what he's done to me. But there is a bond that I shared with him. He was kind until recently.
No, he wasn't. If he was kind, he would have let you go. It's not how that works. I had a family. I have had. Don't know. Haven't spoken to them in a while. But we took care of each other. We helped each other. We let each other be what we wanted to be, given the means we had. That is what, that is the bond you should be looking for. Not, if he was kind to you at all, it was because he knew it would help him keep you.
Maybe you're right. I suppose I've never talked about this with anyone before.
Oh.
I always appreciate hearing your words of advice.
That's good. Strange to hear that anyone thinks that I have it together, because I don't, but I guess I have some experiences that might help you. I think we've had a very different experience of life, so maybe we have things to teach each other.
I agree. It is a beautiful night.
See, this one here, it looks like a snail, but if you look closer at it, it's also a penis. Do you notice?
Oh!
Good little jokes that they do. They get bored and quickly, but
no, this is nice.
Are you gonna shit or get off the pot? The voice comes out from behind you.
Who is this?
You turn around and you can see a youth. They appear female.
A ruffian?
They appear female with like short cropped black hair with kind of like reddish highlights in it. They're wearing like a crop top and combat boots, and
Okay.
they're
Okay.
carrying.
My Chemical Romance shirt.
Yep.
Okay.
And they've got like a duffel bag over their shoulder.
Okay.
They seem dead set on like getting to the spot of wall that you two are like directly in front of.
Okay. I'll say, no, you're free to go. Can we observe?
Were you blocking me?
Not on purpose.
Do I have permission?
You don't need my permission.
Think you need our permission.
We'll get that out of our way. Can we watch though? I've never watched somebody actually do the paintings.
Yeah, whatever gets you off, horny guy.
That's not what I'm saying.
They approach and pull a sort of metal stencil out of their duffel bag and affix it to the wall, and then take their hands and do this by touching their thumbs together and shoot out a wave of flame that goes around the stencils to create the symbol of a phoenix on the wall.
Nice.
That's fascinating.
Would I know if that's a symbol of like an specific organization, or is it just like a tag?
It's a tag.
Like the symbol of the college radio station.
Yeah.
Yeah.
WRBB.
The youth snaps their gum, their big old bubble gum, and takes the stencil off and shoulders the duffel bag. She kind of gives
Nice
you.
work. It looks good.
Thanks. You guys want to buy any drugs?
I think I'll be okay.
Well, wait. What kind?
Uh,
What kind of experience are you offering?
Psychoactive.
Okay. How? Okay.
Anything that I could steal from the alchemy lab?
Oh. I don't know if I'm willing to take a risk like that.
Do you have anything that would help us sleep?
I mean, I could get you real quick across the jaw if you want.
No, you don't want to try that on him. I think it would hurt your hand.
I wouldn't want Glimmer to have to carry me back.
I couldn't carry you back.
There we go.
Right. Well, good night, lover boys. She gives you a salute.
Good night. Well, I think she was lovely.
How would you even kiss a man with a dragon face? I don't know.
On the cheek.
Nico, I'll talk to you about it later.
On the vague.
Watch yourself or you'll find out.
Fuck around and find out, baby. Oh, well, that was not as... That was okay. Do you want to go back?
I think I'm ready. Yes.
Sleepy?
I think I could use a rest. Difficulty breathing will tire you out rather quickly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Is it okay if I bring up with the group what you're going to do? And if I think we would all be willing to help. I think Gwydion will see it as a noble task. Ashrin will probably see it as a way to keep you around, and you're big, and so she probably wants you to still be around. Eidolon might see it as a great thing. I don't know. Freeing a man from captivity is sort of a great thing. I'm willing to do it.
Well, thank you.
You'll need help if you're going to... Oh, well, actually, I don't even know what you plan to do.
I think the path will become much clearer once we get to Rainmere.
Okay. Should I not bring it up until then?
No, if you wish to. I don't mean to conceal things from the rest of you. It's just hard for me to speak of sometimes.
You pick the moment then. I won't make the decision for you. It'll be good practice making decisions for yourself. Sorry, I hope that's not insulting.
No, I quite like the sound of it.
Good.
Thank you. Bummer.
The two begin to head back. Is that what's happening?
Trying to think if there's anything else I would ask or mention. There is. Like there are probably a minute or so of silence, and then I'll say like, so I have to ask you, what is it that you like about Catch so much? And he is like, I know he's sentient, but he is built to deceive. That's correct, right, Jake? Like, my understanding of fiends is correct. Like,
Yes. Yeah. There's nothing redeeming about him.
Yeah.
From like a soul perspective.
Yeah.
Other than that, he's funny and we love him.
Yeah, he's funny and
he's our goofy, stinky little friend.
Yeah.
He's our stinky guy.
Who perpetually wants to cause you misery.
Yeah. He, I guess it's strange to say, but he does not have your best interests at heart at all. I guess he is charming in a way, but that is all just to get you closer to him so that he can, get things from you. That's how he works.
I think I'm finally starting to see that he is built for deception. And he successfully preyed upon my desire to assist those that don't have the opportunity to speak for themselves. I guess I sympathize with him.
Yeah, I understand that. It's strange, but I understand it. But he doesn't have the desire to live freely like you do. He is in bondage, but if he wasn't, I think he would do much the same thing. That's the difference, I think.
You're probably correct. I will take more proactive steps in the future to see through his deception.
Yeah, you don't have to be so formal about it. Just know that he's fucking with you. If you need help, come to me or any of us. We all understand, I think. Maybe not Sir Gwydion, but we all understand the danger. So, except for him. So,
I think I'm starting to see it as well. Where is he?
I don't know. He's probably having a good time shitting on things and people.
Yeah.
That should make you happy, right? He's free in a way.
Enjoying himself.
Yeah.
Yes, that is good. Eventually he'll come back and we'll deal with it then.
Yes.
I think it will be good to be away from him for a while.
That's good. I'm glad you don't miss him. I definitely don't.
Well, is there anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Wait, are we walking back through the city or are we like outside?
You're walking back through the city, and since you leave pretty shortly after that other character who did the graffiti, you end up kind of following them back to the exit point. They kind of keep on giving you confused, suspicious glares over their shoulder.
Wave shyly at them several times.
She flips you off.
Okay, not following you. I know the shortcut. Also,
stop yelling, or the cops will hear you.
Okay, that's a good point.
She flips you off again.
She's very strong of will.
Yeah, you could say that.
Speaking of which, just out of curiosity, that tiefling bard from the Dagger Lads, saw a certain sparkle in your eye. Yes.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, she came bursting out of the woods to save us, and she's, pretty. And so I guess I was caught off guard. And the song was very nice.
I just want to put my hand on his shoulder and just good for you.
White Skills, I'm not taking advice about this kind of thing from you. You didn't know what smut was like a week ago.
That is true. That is definitely true. I'm not offering advice. It's nice to see you with a little bit more pep.
It's not the type of thing that gives me pep usually. I just get nervous and more nervous, and then nervous about being nervous, and then maybe why am I? Let's go. I'm going to shut up now. Let's go.
Very well. And then
to make it back to Marigold, the mysterious youth peels off in the opposite direction.
I'll flip her off.
Yeah, she's not even looking anymore. Never to be seen again. And you head back to
BBG guys. Oops.
Bro, that was Jackal. You let her go.
You head to the Marigold and back to your room.
Do you want the bed?
No, I'll take the floor.
Are you sure?
As we're walking past Eidolon, can I just be like, it's so strange that he just stands there.
I turn over to you and it's like, I can see her, right?
It's yes. Yes. Sorry. It's just fascinating.
And he just goes back to his normal guard position, doesn't know what to say.
He has a long day of being inspected tomorrow. You should leave him alone.
Keep in mind that he saw you two go out and take a long walk together.
Fuck!
He now has, ever since he got the talk, he understands logically that this is what people who flirt and like each other say. So he severely thinks that something is going on.
This is getting worse and worse.
He's not gonna bring it up until it actually comes.
He literally just talked to me about my stupid crush on the tiefling girl.
Eidolon doesn't know that.
Yeah, you guys literally are sharing a room with one bed.
I know. This is what married people do.
I will ask you, White Scales, would you be comfortable if I slept in the other room? So we can both have a bed.
It's entirely up to you. We have the room.
The city seems quiet. I think I was being maybe too careful. So.
I understand. Well, I will see you
in the morning. Yes. Oh.
I'm not meaning to do any of this. I love watching you do a little smile and a little wave as you go out the door.
That's not what I do.
And I goes like, oh yeah. They're in courtship.
Yep. And for some reason, the date probably didn't go well, Eidolon, because they're now sleeping in separate beds.
Yeah, I mean, everyone needs their space every once in a while.
Yeah. You find your way to bed. Eidolon keeps watch over everything. It's a very quiet night in Marigold, and slowly the daylight begins to seep through the windows, waking you up. Many of you with a very severe and probably expected headache from the night's festivities from before. Gwydion is down in the dining room of the Marigold, leaning over a mug of coffee. Outside the Marigold, the soldiers are packing up and beginning to march out.
I am with Sir Gwydion, kind of nursing his hangover. And saying, you should learn how to take things one drink at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you must
get this boy some orange juice.
He needs some juice.
Get my man some juice.
Sir Gwydion, come get you all juice.
I feel like I want to I don't think Ashran's hungover. Jake, you can prove me wrong. I don't think Ashran's that hungover. I think Ashran's good. I think she's
It's
done her
only three-
drinking,
it's
and I'll
only-
do a check.
No, you don't need to do a check.
Exactly. So I'll get the juice. I'll get the juice. I get the juice. Get the juice.
We got the juice.
All right, everybody, let's stay hydrated. And Eidolon, you have your appointment. And yes, I suppose we should attempt to meet back here when we've finished all our errands and then move
Well,
forward
we
from
should.
there.
Eidolon should meet us with the gold, and then we have errands to do.
Why am
But
I
we don't
going
know how
alone?
long that's going to take.
Strange man.
You don't have to go
I
alone.
didn't say that. Well, I knew that Glimmer wanted to do shopping or something.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't
no,
have
that's
gold to
fine.
shop with.
Well, how much do you need? I can lend you like 5. I have
How
like
about
5.
the 150 that our friend is about to get?
Well, it could take all day. Anyway, I guess we can all go.
I
Yes,
would
it's-
like. I'll stay inside. I don't need to go anywhere.
We'll go and have my appointment. We'll get the potions, and you could watch Sir Gwydion maybe, or
I'll watch him. Yeah,
just do whatever you want.
I'll take care of him. That
We'll
sounds.
see how long
Just get him some carbs. He'll be okay. Just get him some carbs.
I would actually like to go with you.
with us.
Yes, I haven't seen the city yet.
No, well, it's quite nice. I enjoy it.
And,
Yes, let's go.
yes, I think it would be nice to spend some time with the two of you.
Quality
what's-
bonding time.
White Scales, Eidolon, and Asherin head to the walled city and are met by the cloaked guard there, who, as they recognize Eidolon coming, wave you forward with the understanding that you are the guest of Victor Detch, honoring an appointment. The city, just to describe it again, is like a very prim and proper college campus. There are like green grass courtyards between buildings with pathways that go to and from them, but never as direct a path as you would like. So there's little trails made in the grass from the students cutting across the greens and those sort of things.
Oh yeah, we're cutting. I'm sorry. We're done.
Yep. The white tower of the limpid pillar stretches up, dominating everything else in the area, and then there are various like college buildings and things like that. You head into the Grand Archives, up to Victor Detch's office, who has his door open and is poring over notes as you enter.
Good morning, Professor Detch.
Good morning. You've discussed it with your traveling for the full examination after all.
Yes, we found that we did have time in our schedule, and of course, the funds that will be used to help us will aid my other friends in their worries of the Red Palm as we continue on our way to Rainmere.
Well, I'm glad that the money will help. And the last we spoke, there was talk of an imp that I could potentially interview as well.
Yes, well, of course, as you know, with fiends, there was no agreement. Kept asking for our soul, and we don't really have that much power over him. So we did what we had to do proper and sent him back where he came.
Very well. Make a deception check just for fun.
Sure.
Should have done it. I should have done it.
Oh, no, I am typing in the wrong thing.
I should have done it because I wouldn't have had to make a check.
That's a mod
It
20.
was true. Ooh.
Okay. He nods. Yes. Devils. You really have to take a very firm hand with them.
Or get that true name out of them in an attempt to
That's
make
true.
some sort of joke.
Very well. If you don't mind, then you would probably want to, I don't know how to put it, reseed your consciousness for a little bit as I take a very thorough examination of your body. This can take probably about 4 hours, so you want to settle in.
Sure. Anywhere on the floor is fine. In the chair.
Actually, he kind of clears some things away from the desk and kind of pats it and invites you to boost yourself onto it.
Like a little 10-year-old child, Eidolon kind of boosts himself onto the doctor's bed and will recede consciousness. And as soon as he does, he just falls straight backwards onto the desk.
Yep. Boom. Ashrin and White Scales, you can see Detch put on some leather examination gloves and pull out some tools and begins to basically try to dismantle the front chest part of Eidolon very carefully, as if he was reading a very old book of a sort.
This feels invasive, White Scale. Should we step outside? I don't
Yes, let's
quite want to watch this.
Is he going to be okay?
He insisted that we do it, so I trust that Mr. Detch here knows what he's doing. And I'm see him reach a gloved hand into Eidolon's
Yep,
armor.
he's got his arm deep into Eidolon, and you can see Eidolon's helmet rattling a little bit.
There's a cracking noise.
I would be to myself, I don't want to watch this, but let's wait closely outside just in case.
Yes.
Let's go in his waiting room.
Very well. You are free to wait outside. While he's dismantled, I guess. Can I just ask you how you happened across him?
Would you like to?
I'm having a sound problem, so if you want to take this.
Yes. Well, we're part of the group, the Singing Crows, and I'll kind of show the collar. We were brought together to perform a job.
Yes, it was fortuitous. The crows did it, is how we met Eidolon. He is officially a crow, so bear that in mind. Any sort of long-standing damage, they will treat it as destruction of company property.
Oh, don't worry, I'm very skilled. Though if I were to issue a warning, I would have to say it's quite the odd choice of a traveling companion. Their motives can be often arcane and hard to understand and motivated by forces that are unviewable, as it were.
I believe we've already discovered that.
Yes, he certainly has a unique perspective on things, but generally, you would say that constructs, obey orders, and we trust him to follow the orders of the crows. At least I do.
Very well. You can please wait outside, and I'll come get you when the examination is over.
Great.
Thank
Got some highlights out in this waiting room.
Yep. Does Ashton and White Scales want to talk about anything before Detch finishes?
I probably wouldn't bring anything up directly.
I would.
Yeah.
I would sit there, wait awkwardly for 5 minutes. I'm looking for the highlights kids magazine, and they don't have one. And then I'll just fidget with something else for a bit and just be so White Scales.
Yes, my lady.
Well, I feel like last night we had a bit of a breakthrough. Would you agree?
I would, yes.
But here's the thing I'm a little bit concerned about is that, we made this promise to, collaborate on the way to Brainmere. And you did promise to talk about any sort of dealings in the future. But the thing is that it also turns out that you lied, because before you said that you weren't dealing with a catch. So, and I'm not blaming you. I've not given you a great reason to trust me, and we had that thing with the kobolds that you seemed, and at the time, let me just say, where I come from, I'm very used to people lying to me, and when it's not against my interests, I don't take it personally. But I realize that using a little bit of magic to make someone overcome a fear of heights, which seems very practical in the moment, might cause some lasting damage. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that I would like to prove to you that we can trust each other to at least make it to Rainmere. And I would like to do this by maybe just a small token of my earnestness. And I'm just kind of like awkwardly like waiting for you to say something. And if you don't, I will do something.
Yes, you are correct. Allow me to, as a gesture of good faith, I have in the past been commanded by my masters through the use of magic to take away my free will.
Yes, that would certainly not be pleasant from your end, I imagine.
I'm not the biggest fan of having people pry into my free will with it, so I suppose I reacted poorly, even though you were doing the best thing you could.
No, and that certainly puts things in perspective. I can relate to that a bit. So I guess what I'm trying to say is I am sorry for that, and let's move forward in the future. And I would like to, thank you. Would like to just take a moment to invest something that is I hold close to me frequently, and not very eloquently. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna take off my hat. It's elf ears, baby. I've got elf ears.
Oh dang!
And I would, yeah, the twist. That's why I put the hat on. And just be like, so it's not. So Gwydion doesn't seem to have a problem with this, but where I come from, elven heritage is often inconvenient and very often dangerous. So I prefer to keep it a secret. And none of you have quite asked, but this is something that, that is difficult for me to share. And I hope that gesture proves to you that we can work together and finish this job. And then I'm gonna look around the room just to make sure no one else saw my elf ears and put the hat back on.
No one seems to mind or notice.
Yeah, it's just my neurosis.
Well, for what it's worth, if I were able to cover up my physical characteristics, I would attempt to as well. I understand. Thank you for trusting me.
You're welcome. And I can't say that I understand exactly where you've been from, but you're entitled to your secrets, and I can relate a little bit to that. But my God, Sir Gwydion doesn't seem to give a shit, does he? Doesn't seem like it's. I've asked him about hats, and he doesn't seem to give a shit. So maybe it's just me.
I think that Gwydion is very true to himself.
That's a good way of putting it. I kind of envy that.
Yes, I appreciate his freedom and fervor for life. It's something that I hope to acquire a little bit more of.
That's one thing to call it. Yeah. Haha.
My lady, where is it that you do come from?
Frey March. Yes. You've ever been there?
I have not.
Very different.
Yes.
I've traveled around a bit as well, but that is where I'm from and know the most about. So Gwydion, I believe, is from there as well, but it seems like we came from very different sides of that town.
Is Glimmer also from there?
I don't know where Glimmer's from.
You heard, man. Yeah, you heard Glimmer. If you paid attention to the Glimmer's interaction with Ulala, you know Glimmer is from Westcourt, which is
okay. Yeah,
a different city.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a different city. Yeah.
The most populous city.
And yes, you are from Rainmere, and don't feel the need to. I hope you don't think I'm prying, but I do wonder if your urgent business there is anything that we could help with. But you think on that.
Yes. I have business with my former master there. I talked to Glimmer last night about it, and I think it's best for me to be more honest. As we approach, I will give you more details.
That's very fair of you, and perhaps now's not the best time, but I fear that if I do hold off any longer on this, it just might get worse. So the other thing is that I did kill Catch.
Oh
now
no!
that we've built a little bit of trust here, I'm just being honest with you. He did poop in my mouth, so that enraged me, and a couple of other things. But I mostly wanted to stress to him. See, I also don't like using his true name. I find it very distasteful. I'm going to kill my cat.
Just like Catch, you monster.
I find using his true name distasteful, and I hoped that, because he'll come back, he's an imp, that this might be the best way to get through to him not to fuck with us without doing something that I find distasteful. I don't think I quite accounted for how much that you actually liked him. So I just wanted to get that out in the open now, and you sit and think on that. I'm going to go look for more highlights magazines and not be near White Scales while he processes this.
And it would be worth mentioning that you said that, and he didn't look angry, but he definitely looked surprised and is kind of staring at the floor, trying to you see his brow is kind of furrowed and.
Well, I give my reason, so.
If there's one thing I will say on it now, I trust that you have your own, and by extension, the rest of our best interest at heart.
I would like to think so, and I would like everyone else to think so. So, yes. And hopefully he won't poop in my mouth again, and we won't need to ask him to do things without using his true name, but we'll see. It'll be 6 days, so he has the time to think about it.
That may be for the best for everyone. Thank you for your honesty, Lady Ashrin. I do appreciate you trusting me with that information.
And I do
the
hope
rest
I can
of them
trust
know.
you. No. I'll tell them. It's I don't like to keep secrets from the group too long. And I do hope that you think about making that deal before we finish our business. That's it.
Thank you. I appreciate your honesty. And I think some time away from Catch may be good for my soul.
Probably. I'm not an expert on these things.
Thank you. Shall we check on Eidolon?
Let's peek in the window and see what's in his zone.
You can see Detch is hard at work, holding the scrolls that make up Eidolon's arms up into the lamp and kind of reading them and making some gestures, and they kind of glow like a light blue that he reads and jots down and understands, and it goes on like this for 3 more hours before he kind of flicks open a pocket watch and looks up at the window up at you and gives you a wave in.
Is Eidolon put back together?
He is currently putting him back together.
Okay, great. Well, it looks like he hasn't broken him yet.
Yes. Can he see this?
I don't know. We should ask him afterwards. I have to imagine it would be a fascinating experience. Probably fairly nightmarish to have your body disassembled while your consciousness watched. But he seemed fairly eager for this to get the crowns, so I'm not super worried.
Is this like seeing him naked?
No, I think that would be like looking inside his little flame. Jake, what does that mean?
It means a little. It's a little like seeing him naked.
I've seen his soul. I feel like that's more naked.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
The whole thing is kind of like
That's gross. We didn't want to watch
I
it.
love playing Dungeons and Dragons. Is he more Nicky when you see his soul or his unarmored body?
His body.
Detch welcomes you in. Thank you for this opportunity to let me disassemble your robot. It was quite enlightening. Would you like to hear some of the things I found?
Sure.
Yes.
Well, number one is some bad news. I'm afraid that I'm going to have to break it to you. But it's probably all for the best. You won't want to get too attached to such an entity. But it appears the magics within Eidolon's internals are faltering. I would be very surprised if he would be able to maintain his binding for 4 years.
That's
4.
very soon.
Yes, it is. How do
For
you know that
him.
it's going to end so soon?
Just from the decay in the arcane, the decay of the sigils and the arcane markings and the strength of the spell that was used to create him, it won't last forever. And he's had a millennia already, so consider that. So if you were to learn more information from him, now would be the time. A fresh soul might not remember as much.
Sorry, soul. Like a fresh soul. Can you elaborate that term?
Eidolon is a bound entity into this suit of armor, and the binding that is holding their soul into the armor is decaying. And once the soul escapes from its bounds, you would have to, in order to remake him, bind a new soul. And it's a new consciousness with new memories. Even if you manage to get the old soul back, it might not remember its altered existence. It's a very complicated procedure. I don't have the time to explain it all currently, but that's the sort of situation that we're in.
No, I guess. Was he a conscious being who then died and then had his soul affixed to the construct?
He was an entity of some consciousness, I believe. Yes, it's hard to know without understanding the specific spell that was used to create it. But on the plus side, the other thing I found, the good news, is that there appears to be a historical account written inside of these binds. So with the proper magics or the proper investment by Eidolon himself, he should be able to call upon specific words and instructions of his old master in some sort of tangible form. Am I making sense? He can look back in history and see memories of his creator that he has not himself experienced.
That's very interesting. And does he know that he can do this?
Well, I think he does now. Is that right? He knocks on the chest plate.
Oh, is Eidolon awake?
As Eidolon arises, he says this short poem as he kind of awakens. All hail, great master, grave sir, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on curled clouds, to thy strong bidding task. Eidolon and all his quality. Oh boy, that was a good rest.
Is that like your Microsoft startup noise?
It is.
Oh.
Awesome. Boom, ba-dling.
I think I understand, but I feel a bit when any of you were children, do you ever read a book that you didn't quite understand the words in? It's like that.
No, I'm a
Yes.
very good reader.
I see.
Oh, your whole life, even? Your whole life? Okay. I understand what you mean. Well, as long as Eidolon understands, I suppose that's what's most important.
Yes. Understand what again? I don't know how much of the how much of the conversation did I hear, because I thought I was unconscious for the entire time.
Eidolon, Actually, let's just say that you were unconscious for all of it, and these two will have to break it to you that you're not going to be existing in 4 years. He points to them and says, "I believe they've got all the information that they can tell you. If it were up to me, I would love to invite you to be here to study, but I also wouldn't want to rob you of the time you have left. So, as a charge to you," he nods to White Scales and Ashrin, "do try to learn everything you can about this entity and write it down, and I would pay handsomely for the accounts."
Well, I suppose thank you, Mr. Detch. This is going to be a fun conversation. They don't have anything else.
Yes. Thank you.
Good day. As a matter of payment, he opens up a drawer with a little bit of a key and puts in like a few rolls of coins and cinches it up into like this leather bag and places it on the desk in front of you. 150 golden wheels, just like we discussed, and more wheels if you can give me an account of most of what it knows.
Okay. We'll be in touch. Thank you, Mr. Detch. If you have any other sort of miscellaneous, you probably don't have a lot of bounties, but in the future, just yes, we'll get back to you.
I'm reachable by pigeon. If you go to any rookery, you can send me letters, and I will send them back to you. Just let me know where to send them.
Great.
Thank you.
Good day.
Good day.
Ooh.
Don't
want to have this convo.
Should we tell him now, or?
Well, I do. That's probably best. So, we're just like literally in the same waiting area.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, so Eidolon, Dr. Detch has broken some news to us. He believes that. Thanks. He believes that your warding scrolls are about to erode or kind of fade away with time. He estimated about 4 years left you have. So that's a lot.
Well, this is quite concerning.
I bet.
Although I'm fairly certain that is no small problem once I find a wizard of, extreme prowess to, maybe revitalize me or freshen me up.
Well, you sound pretty confident about that. I'm not as educated on it, but it seems like if people had the knowledge to do those things, there might be more of constructs like you walking about. I don't know if there's any of those people left.
I've never really given a thought to my individuality. When I was around in my time, there were many more like me, but in my travels of being alone, I suppose I haven't seen that many that often.
When was the last time you saw another construct like you?
He takes a moment and thinks, Jake, what would probably be a good reason? He's thinking about 200 years ago, maybe?
Probably a little bit earlier than that. Probably most of them were gone by the height of the war, so like 400 years ago.
Okay, yeah. So I would relay the message to say, about 400 years ago.
Well, it's something that you should probably think about looking into that. And then this one might be good news for you. I did kill Ketch. Just wanted to get that out of the way before we waste any time looking for him. He was being, he pooped in my mouth. I didn't like that. couple of other things, but let's just get that out of the way.
Well, I was about to do the same thing in general. I do not trust that particular thing one bit, and neither should any of you.
I tend to agree. So that's good that we're on the same page there. And one last thing while we're having a heart-to-heart here. Considering your newfound appreciation of people's ages of last night, I would also appreciate if you kind of rethought about who you think is a child again, specifically while we're standing here. Again, that's all.
Why? Why do you say that?
Oh, you did call me a child yesterday.
Well, is that not what you are? You're under the age of 50.
I'm not a child. I assure you that. And I would appreciate if you readjusted your viewpoint on that matter. That's all.
Very well. I suppose I could consider you a young adult.
I'll take it, Eidolon. You know what? I'll take it. Well, let's bring our gold back to Glimmer. He wanted earnestly to buy a book of some kind.
Well, shouldn't this gold go straight to health potions? They cost about 50 gold pieces each.
Do they? Well, we should probably do that as well. But let's regroup.
I agree.
We're just going to go a little bit longer to run these errands, and then we'll
Okay.
call it out. So you guys can make your way back to Magnolia or wherever wherever Gwydion and Glimmer have ended up.
Probably as Sir Gwydion gets better, I probably know a nice place, a nice cafe with outdoor seating. We can just sit in the sun,
Like a beer garden or a patio of some kind?
Yeah, it's called the Mage Finger.
Yeah.
Yep,
it's called the Tavern of Tales.
Tales, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's called the Mage Finger, and it's like a college brunch place. It's one fat guy on a flat iron grill who makes really greasy breakfast for $5.
Okay.
And it's got a good view of the door, and you can see Eidolon and White Scales and Glimmer exiting the gate and holding a sack of money.
Great.
Well, sorry.
How did it go? It seems well. You have the gold.
Yes. Took a little bit of time. Eidolon received some bad news, but he's working on that. I did kill Ketch before, and I just wanted to clear the air before that becomes a problem.
Just now, or?
No, last night.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to waste any time looking for him.
Oh, all right.
Don't worry about it. The other thing is, I know you wanted to buy a book, but we do need health potion money, and I know we're in a bit of a hurry, but I might be able to pull some...
potion before books, certainly. We need as many as we can buy with the money we have.
Yes, I just suppose to speed things along. Do you remember how we got potions in St. Gertrude?
I do.
I could possibly work on some of those terms again if we're short.
Okay, well, we have 150 now. We can do it the safe way, which is the normal way. Maybe we can haggle down. Maybe we can haggle down. It's 3 actually.
Not if you want your silly book.
I don't mind I don't need the book. I don't need it.
Okay, then let's go get
nice
potions.
Thing for Eidolon. If we haggle down to a lower price, maybe I can afford a single book. I don't know, but it's not crucial.
We may be able to even get 4 for 150.
I mean, I do have suggestion. It's not a big deal. It lasts 8 hours. We should be far away from here.
We were honestly lucky that the city that we committed crimes in is now under siege, and so people have definitely forgotten about that by now. But if we have a way to avoid getting ourselves into trouble and to further trouble, then we should go with that.
Listen, I do tend to agree. Perhaps I'm overconfident in my abilities to not get us into trouble, but yes, let's go buy potions. But they're only looking for an old man in St. Gertrude. They'll never know.
I know, it was very well done. It was
Thank
great,
you.
But we shouldn't be getting ourselves into trouble. We should be...
Well, we didn't. Anyway, let's go to the potion store. I think we can agree to disagree. Go to the potion cellar. Potion cellar.
You go to the potion
I want
cellar.
only your cheapest potions.
Your cheapest potion.
It's called Solari Tinctures Incorporated. It's on the inner side of the city. Once you open up the door, white scales and glimmer, you immediately recognize the figure of a young lady, not dressed in combat boots and a crop top anymore.
Nice.
But she's kind of behind the counter, filing her nails with what are they called?
A nail file?
Emery board.
Emery board. Thank you.
Oh.
Filing their nails with an emery board and chewing bubble gum, which they pop loudly as you enter.
Do they look like they own the place, or just like they're like behind the counter?
They look like they are a teenager running their father's apothecary shop.
Would you look at that?
Hello.
Small world.
Funny seeing you again. We're in the market for some health potions. We would appreciate the lower price. In fact, I'll give you this. I'll lean in close and say quietly to them, I know a couple places that are hard to get to that haven't been touched yet.
How do you do, fellow kids?
I'll exchange you that information for a reduced price on the potions. If that sounds good to you.
Are you seriously trying to sell me tag locations for a discount on health potions?
That is the sentence I just said. So yes, I am seriously trying to.
Do you understand that you are talking to a teenager and all I have to do with my nights is to find places to burn with my emblem?
Can I try to I don't know if you want, can I make a check or something to see if I can pull out like a place that only a student really would be able to get to, that this person has not been to before?
You can roll a history check to know where a janitor keeps the keys or something.
Okay. One sec. 13.
13. Let me roll. What do you got?
Well, I know a couple places on the campus that a teenager would typically be able to get into. You can spread your symbol around and make the students who look down at you see it. You spread your name amongst them. It would be a good statement.
Like where?
There's a stairway above the boiler room that gets a lot of traffic past it. There's a walkway that looks over one of the patios where the students dine. I know how to get up there. Do you want
know
more?
how to get up there?
I do.
How do you get up there?
I'll explain it. I don't know. You have to take the stairwell to the maintenance entrance. You need to pick the lock or take the key off of the janitor, get into the maintenance entrance, and then climb out the window in the maintenance hallway and skirt your way along it. And then you can do tag upside down. I don't know.
She writes this down and then closes the book and says, "Okay, you told me. So now I know. Why should I give you a discount on potions?"
Because it was a nice thing to do. Who
Roll
owns this
persuasion
place?
check.
Who owns this place? Hold on. Who owns?
Are you?
I'll roll the persuasion.
Who are you? Are you asking her?
That's a 17 on persuasion.
Are you asking her?
Yes.
Daryl Solari.
Can I insight check that?
Hold on. Is the persuasion successful?
Well,
I'm trying to
sorry,
think
you
of
got
a
an
Bart
answer roll.
Simpson's pun you
This
can
is
make
17.
from that name. I can't think of one. I feel like she's trying to prank you.
I really don't want to. I really do not want to like threaten to narc on this girl, but it's my last resort.
You'll probably have to do the last resort. She just rolled a nat 20 against
Okay.
you. She just says, Daryl Solari. Why, you got a date with him?
Do you think Daryl would like to know that one of his employees is a ruffian who goes around tagging up the city, threatening, is under threat of being captured by the guards and reprimanded? Do you think he would like to know that?
Jeez Louise, I didn't know that you were a freaking snitch.
I'm just trying to stay alive.
Do you
honestly.
even smoke drugs?
I have.
All right, what do you want?
Just I don't know, five gold off each of them.
Yeah, I can do 5.
Thank you.
How many?
I tried to be nice. I'm
tried to be nice.
three of them for 5 gold off each.
3 potions for the pupilless wonder. Here we go.
Yeah.
Takes the potions and puts them on the counter. 5 off each. You can get them for 40 with our discount. That brings them to 35 each.
Great. So that's 105.
I don't know, is it?
I'm gonna step aside and be like,
let's tack one more potion onto that just for that smart comment. We'll take one more.
yeah, take that. I'm buying from your store.
She pulls down the second one, 140.
That is more doable. And Eidolon will throw 140 coins onto the desk and quickly grab the... How many was it? 4 potions? Yeah.
4 standard healing potions.
Yes.
Come back soon, okay?
Yeah. I wasn't lying about the tag. It's very pretty. Keep doing it.
Yeah, thanks for talking about my tags loudly in my dad's store, you dick.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She ushers you out with the broom, just kind of like sweeping at your feet until you leave the apothecary. And
Cool.
that is
I love talking to teens.
That is where we're going to leave off for the night. Thank you, everyone.
Ron, aren't you so glad we didn't break the law?
Yeah.
Instead, we bullied a teen.
Yep.
I am.
Good. A bullied, a lawless teen who's fighting against the system.
I know.
That's it for us tonight, everyone. Thank you for dropping by and watching people play out fake emotions.
Yeah.
Very fun for us. Hope it was fun for you as well. We are streaming again Tales from the Shadowlands on Friday at the same time. We also have our game master Tyler streaming Magic the Gathering from 3 p.m. till 6 p.m. on Mondays and Thursdays. He's currently playing the Ikoria Layer Behemoth set that just recently dropped. Looks like a lot of fun. He always has like really good commentary. So drop on by to that if you are interested in Magic the Gathering. And on Tuesday and Saturday at 1 p.m., we are launching a new show called Tavern Talks, showcasing tabletop role-playing games and board games, and also discussions of our ongoing Eberron campaigns. Question and answers with some of the DMs that run the Eberron sessions, in-depth look-backs, and looks into various lore aspects of Eberron. The first episode is this Saturday for a look back at the Black Mass. It's an RPG game that's from Kickstarter. Our game master Lily will be giving an in-depth explanation on that. So if you're interested in tabletop role-playing games that are not like Dungeons and Dragons, drop a line over there. I'm sure it'll be enlightening. I'll be in the chat as well. I look forward to seeing you there. And on Tuesday, next Tuesday, we'll be recapping our first arc of Eberron. So if you're interested in joining our online Eberron campaign, this will be a great opportunity to see the story so far, understand the beats and a little bit about the characters that are in that world, and prepare yourself for Tier 2, where we will be going on many other grand adventures as the Exquisite Aeronauts. Until then, you've been great. Stay healthy, stay dicey. We love you. Good night.